Wow.
I'm pretty surprised that Ancient won't be played because it was a hell of a match yesterday where they faced each other in these jungle preferences. So, well, Mirage, I'm surprised.
Because it's the first pick of fnatic. I would be quite sure that they would actually, I mean, ENCE, they would actually ban this one, but
they have Inferno as insta-ban, so they had no other option.
Yeah, pretty much. You always get at least one shot on a good map, so in this veto format. So, yeah, why the hell not? So I think Mirage is going to be extremely important and enjoyable to watch between these two teams.
Yeah, but we have to remember the first day when ENCE were playing Mirage, they actually played really well. Neku had beautiful statistics there, and of course other players as well.
Sparsky as well.
Yeah, I remember, I think it was the play-in match of ENCE where Poddy played Grey with Op, so I think Mirage can be close, whether on paper the statistics are in the best.
And we have to say 500, of course, probably not up to par with fnatic on this map, but still they are a really dangerous team, and they were able to cope with Rainwaker from his AX Trinities actually pushing, and the A side was overloaded. They still managed to win it, and it was quite comfortable in the end.
Yes, let's look at the odds, because that's the one last formality we need to get done. Of course, Tipsport, our title partner, what are the bookmakers saying? I mean, yesterday it was more even, slightly more even, right?
Very even.
Yes. So now Fnatic 196 and ENCE 176.
I love the last one. I love
Jumbo
the last
over
one.
16.5 kills on Mirage.
Well,
that's definitely
AVP on
doable.
Mirage definitely could be happening.
Yeah, definitely the difference maker. Of course, usually you get a window smoked and you have to play around that, either Zoom Palace or go towards combat. You can still be active. You can still find the deals. Usually we can see snipers just popping this mode off with grenades. So HE will be, of course, used by Jumbo as well, trying to find the open kill on the long distance. And definitely 17 kills are possible for him.
From what I could see, from what I could say about Jumbo and Poddy, that Jumbo is extremely aggressive. Given the current meta about AVPers, especially on CD side, 24% attempts on actually opening duels, and on CT he has 93% success. That's an impressive statistics. Let's set aside the opening frags, of course, but still, this is a whole package AVPer here that we are seeing right now playing, and Poddy is going to have a hard time matching that.
Yes, is that the only thing you feel like Fnatic need? Just to shut down Poddy with Jumbo and then it's good? Or what do you do with Kaspersky?
Well, you kind of fuel of blame F, Mattis, and Jumbo all at the same time. That was the problem.
Yeah, and then you pray.
And then you pray. Yeah, on both sides, honestly, if it works out or it doesn't. But yeah, still, it's something that wasn't meshing well in the previous matches. It was either Jumbo or it was blame F, Mattis, and Fear. So if they can put it together on one map, I think that might work out.
We'll see how it goes. Of course, there is one more question that needs to be asked. How about Netu? I mean, he was excelling in the first day. Second day, not so much. Some of it, honestly, was he didn't get too much action. He was just on Dust, for example. A lot of the action was on the other side. He never got around to, and when he did, it was like 1v4 or something like that. So he never got to many chances to prove himself there. But still, when he got, it wasn't always in his favor.
But I think it's just Neku. Sometimes he pops off, he has a beautiful showing, but some matches are weaker from his side. But of course, he's not the #1 star player in the team, and he's more likely the support rifler. When he shows off, it's wonderful, and the team can just take their steam off. But if he's a little bit behind, I think it doesn't that matter as much.
I'm just going to add to you, because he's usually the anchor position. So, of course, whenever someone doesn't go to his side, as you just said before, you don't get the kills and the retakes after that on CT side. Sometimes you just don't get to play it and you just save. So everything affects the statistics from this. So that's maybe the reason why he wasn't so visible. But for ENCE, he did the job. Because if he didn't, they wouldn't win. So good enough for them. We're going to see if it's good enough for them today as well.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see what's happening in our arena right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, before the finals, of course, we have to feast. Our friends, our partner from KFC brought us these 2 giant buckets. And my only question is, are you hungry? Sorry, I have some problems with hearing because of this headphone. Are you hungry? Okay, looks like we have pretty hungry crowd. Our ambassadors, Anduli and Fluff, got these buckets, and in one of these buckets there is a huge load of KFC. It's amazing. I saw it. I saw them load the buckets, and there is plenty for everyone. The rules are there will be timeout, and after the timeout goes to 0, the bomb will explode, and you can rush to one bucket. You need to choose Anduli or you need to choose Fluff. I have a deal with Fluff actually. He wants to say hi, but only hi. He wants to say only hi.
Hi!
He did it, okay. So, deal was closed. Deal was closed, it's fine. Let's start the countdown. Let's start the rush. You said already that you are hungry. Now you need to decide Anduli or Fluff. B side or A side. And the clock is already ticking. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose the bucket and go! Wow, okay, everyone actually chose the wrong bucket, I guess. But in the bucket of Fluff, there is also something, but I think like only 3 buckets of KFC. But in Anduli's buckets, there is plenty of KFC for everyone. Enjoy, have a good meal before the finals, and then enjoy S-tier Counter-Strike.
Thank you for opportunity to say hi.
Hi, Fluff. I mean, I think I have a good idea why his bucket was empty there.
Oh!
I'm sorry, that was so funny from Fluff. I love the guy. Anyways, excuse me, I'm gonna grab some KFC.
Oh, for sure. No,
But you look like you had already some.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
true.
wow.
So we're gonna go for these burns. Okay, you're right. So
Last questions before we go to the match. I mean, there is some probably it's just mayhem happening right now with all the chickens there. So I'm gonna ask you for some predictions, gentlemen. Again, MVP. I mean, it's gonna be highly based probably on who's gonna win, right? But if you have to guess, still series MVP, who's gonna take it? Is it Kaspersky on ENCE? Is it Mattis? Is it Blame? There is so many fun favorites in these teams.
And this very MVP is from fans, or
It's just voting.
it's just voting?
It's just voting.
So then I think it's Matisse.
Yeah.
But it's voting on English channel though. So it's you know, it's not because we for the Czech we have the fun watch party here. So it's not just people who are like, oh yeah, Matisse is Czech, so let's vote for him, Slovak.
And you just grab some of the names who are nominated, or everyone is?
Everyone is.
Okay, so we are a internet community, so I think definitely Oxygen is
okay, that was a good
that
one,
would be
man.
hilarious actually, but I think when people don't see him that day to play, it's kind of
They
in the
don't
back
even
of their
know
mind.
he was playing here.
Yeah, some people probably don't. So no, some serious comments, some serious answers.
For me, I think it's definitely gonna be from ENCE or fnatic. That's for sure. It's either gonna be Kaspersky or I think it's between Blamef and Mattis. I think these are the 3 only objective possibilities that are on the table.
Yeah, but Fear also played good during today, so maybe some people will like it because they saw his performance.
So it
they
will
know
skew him a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They know he's IGL, but he's still performing well. I think this can be a game changer as well.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you're nicely dancing around it, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking who's gonna take it.
I said fear.
Yeah.
Kaspersky.
Kaspersky. You're going with.
Yeah, I think he's
Kaspersky.
going to perform today as well.
Interesting. Do you feel like fear is just because of the performance that people will be like, oh yeah, he's like amazing fragging IGL. He's part of the success of Fnatic right now, and they will just very, let's say, contemplate the actual value of the player and vote on that?
I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit delusional because usually players or fans don't appreciate IGLs as
At
much,
all.
but
No.
Yeah.
I don't even
I need
remember.
to be delusional to prove something that even IGLs are important, maybe the most important sometimes as well.
Yeah, I don't even remember like when was last IGL that won MVP. But ladies and gentlemen, let's now debate this any further. Let's go to the stage where we have two last team in Tipsport Conquest of Prague.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear fans of Counter-Strike, Vodafone Playzone Arena is packed right now. I don't see many places you can still sit on, and there is no wonder why. Finals like this is a celebration for the home scene and even for European Tier 2 scene. These teams, these organizations are legendary. Among the players are major winners or upcoming stars. So let's have an epic final for the title of Tipsport Conquest of Prague. First team coming from Finland, Team ENCE. Glaive, the arena is packed right now, but I know you are used to majors, but still, this may be a fine opportunity to again win some title in front of an audience. How do you feel right now?
I mean, this is almost like a major, no? So good, such a good crowd. So I think it's going to be a good game. I'm happy to see that people got some food. I tried KFC myself. I once ordered it from Fedora, and I know it's also a Czech app, right? That a Czech company. So and it's also our lovely sponsor, of course. So yeah, go order some more KFC from there, maybe.
Absolutely epic marketing segment, of course. But how do you feel about playing Fnatic and Crims yet again in the finals? Because you said it's like a major. For us Czech fans, it's definitely like a major, but for yourself?
I mean, I think it's good. I think we always have close matches against this team. We beat them some times in a row now, and hopefully we can do it one more time. I mean, Blamev told me before the game, you're not going to beat us 4 times in a row, so I will do my best to prove him wrong.
Let's see then. Thank you so much, Team ENCE! When we are talking about epic organizations with many fans worldwide, there is no organizations with the history like this one. Please welcome Team Fnatic! Glaive was talking about this crowd as a small major maybe. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, it's full of energy. It's really nice to be here and hear all the cheer and stuff.
Yet again, the audience will be definitely more on your side. How do you feel playing in front of these people, Czech fans or foreign fans that made it here to support Fnatic?
It's been a really fun experience, to be honest, and Matters is really happy as well. Just having a joy.
For you specifically, how it feels like to play against ENCE and players like Glaive in the finals?
Nothing special. Gonna be easy today.
Thank you so much for the interview, Team Fnatic! Epic teams, epic crowd, epic finals. Let's enjoy this.
So many best of threes, so many matches were played so far. You got the Swiss stage, you got the deciders, you got the LAN. 5 are behind us and only 1 left. Who will be the conquerors of Prague? Will it be ENCE or will it be fnatic? Yuba and Pronogo here. We're not going to give you the answers, but we're going to give you the excitement.
Yeah, listen, we'll find out together, I think. And we know who the crowd is favoring. We know which team has the home field advantage, but it hasn't stopped Glaive and ENCE from storming to the finals through the upper bracket. Only losing 1 map so far, and it was a miraculous comeback from 500 on Dust 2, a map that has not been chanced in our finals veto. Not at all. fnatic opting to pick Mirage as our starter. We will absolutely see the second pick of Anubis, which did not go fnatic's way in their previous showing. And if we get it, oh, I so hope we get it, Train will decide things.
All right, I'm hoping for all 3 maps as well. We want this to be an exciting final, and let's see if fnatic have what it takes. As you already mentioned when the previous best of 3 was over, they're coming in as slight underdogs, but this is a name that's been in this situation before. They've been favorites as well, and they know how to play in every position. Especially Crims, he has had a few really good maps throughout this tournament. Maybe the veteran can lead him to the trophy.
Maybe. There's veterancy on both sides. There's a healthy, I would say, split between steady hands that have proven it over and over and upstarts that might write their own names in the history book. Of course, Blame F being something of a, an old head himself at this point, but he's been known as a bit of a technical guy, a guy who definitely spends a lot of time in refrag from all the way back in his complexity days. So many hours spent in demos. Don't know how he found time to hit the gym as he does, but maybe that's because Counter-Strike is his life, the life of all players here, gearing up for their grand final on LAN. Doesn't get more prestigious than this at this level of competition. Both of these organizations, they're fighting to once again be considered a tier 1 Counter-Strike side. And it has been a while since we've seen fnatic, since we've seen ENCE be title contenders at the big stage. There's a chance that whoever ends up claiming the trophy here could start to change that narrative.
Yeah, and absolutely. You win the trophy, you're going to get a lot of confidence. You're going to show that on LAN you can shine. And also, let's not forget the VRS points. You're going to get a pretty good nudge if you exit Prague with a victory, simply due to the fact that you managed to win the trophy, you managed to win the majority of the prize pool. That all gives you points, all puts you in the right direction. And of course, we're still at the start of teams collecting points for that second major of 2025.
Yeah, and talking about collecting points, talk about collecting veterancy, right? This is a squad with a younger in-game leader in Fear who has been popping off so far at the event, fragging well above his weight, even today against Team 9. And that's how they managed to dismiss them on Ancient 13-5 with 17, maybe more frags by the end of it. Fear had an immaculate impact, and his other players were not far behind. You think about Jambo, who can rifle well as use the sniper to great effect. And of course, everybody's thinking about Mattis. He's been playing lights out for this event on home soil. A key reason why they qualified through the online stage as well. So a well-rounded player who, for many, is still up and coming. Although I'm sure the people in the crowd, they are very happy to see him take stage yet again. This is not his first rodeo.
Oh yeah, far from it. Of course, fnatic have that element of the crowd being behind them, hoping that they're going to do something. I'm curious to, of course, know how much the teams, or rather the players, can actually hear what's going on due to the fact that they're in booths with those noise canceling headsets. Yeah. Is it actually a factor when you hear the crowd make noise?
Well, there's so many little things you can do on LAN. Little details like being able to maybe catch the rumble of an HE grenade going off, knowing that that means the observer was following it and that there was somebody there to receive it if it's from the POV of another player. Really small little things. But I don't know if this game is going to be tight enough to come down to those real small trivialities, that little pieces of trivia you can use to get a very slight edge. I think this is going to be a game of fundamentals, and that's that's where we start. On one of the most fundamental maps of Counter-Strike history, Mirage will open us up. Prague, Ideminato, let's go!
All right, let's see what this final is going to look like. It's a best of 3 grand final for all the marbles and for all the glory of Prague. An old city it is, and not many people had that title of the Conquerors. Blame F starts off well. Fnatic starting on that T side. The defense is ready, and SDY tucked in. That's a good start from the CTs, but a 2-for-2 trade. Kaspersky finds one more, and he's in a good position. Crim's now the only hope of Fnatic in the pistol. The Glock is going to have to do work. The question is, can he do it? More than a minute left on the clock, more than enough time to rotate to the other side, and he has the bomb on his back. Would be a pretty good way to enter this final.
Yeah, this would be a 1 versus 3. He's already found the first. Nachu will not be the first point of contact. He's burrowed in on stairs towards A. Glaive could have the flank. He's got at least the initial bit of attention. Crim's brought down to only 11 points of health, but he's gonna commit to the site. Rotations can come, but they're both gonna be hitting through short, it looks like. Oh yeah, look at that. They're not sure that he's burrowed in quite so deep, but they end up double facing him, and Crim's with such little health. There's no way he can win a long range duel.
Yeah, no chance. He just has to buy time as long as possible, but they have a smoke, they have a kit. Little that the veteran can do. At least getting the bomb plant for his team will acquire them a little extra cash, and now Blade comes in, but he is felled. Crims, maybe he bought himself an opening. Not gonna happen as the Frenchman takes out the Swede. It is the first round that goes to the favor of ENCE.
All right, grand finals, nerves might be striking. That looked like Crims could be the steady hand to bring Fnatic a pistol. He'll at least give them a bomb plant. T-side, force buy incoming. And the CTs are gonna need to really cross their T's, dot their I's, and for that matter, their J's as they get ready to make things happen here in round number 2. Already we're seeing great action in the grand final. And again, you gotta remember some of these players haven't played too many of those, certainly not on LAN.
Oh yeah. Of course, the pressure is high, especially when you're in the grand final. As you said, Fnatic with that bomb plant, they're gonna have a force buy-in. Not a bad one at that, given that they're gonna have 3 rifles to play with. Always a danger, always a threat. Pody, he managed to see at least one of the players. Nate, you under duress, he's gonna get taken down, and that's another rifle for Fnatic. Maybe that gets the ball rolling for them as the CTs are coming in, coming back to the site, but Fnatic have control of it. They can plant the bomb and see what they can do in the rest of the round. Smoke gonna get broken, but Jambo managed to go through it. There's Pody though, brings it back into a 4v4. That stalemate short-lived, and now the CTs are finding frags. Only Fear and Matt is alive for Fnatic.
Still doable for Fnatic. They have to kill Glaive though, and they're not gonna be able to. Mattis is dropped. Yet another frag for the in-game leader. He doubles up so far. The bomb defused, leaves Fear all alone in the corner. He'll save that Galil into the next. Good damage, another bomb plant. Will we see a follow-up force?
That is the question. Though they did not get a lot of kills, it begs the question of, is it really worth it to commit all of your cash to the next round? Taken into account that they, I think, found only 2 kills in the end. Could have been better for the side of Fnatic, as ENCE are the ones that draw first blood. A hero Galil going to be in the hands of Fear, as he did manage to save that gun. So Fnatic will have a better buy in round number 4. In the third, they can only hope to maybe start it off quite well with one of these pistols or that saved Galil. Look for the first frag and find a way to spread the defense. That's a good start as Kaspersky falls.
Fear still combat ready, 66 points of health. Fnatic have opted into a brawly buy. They've got head armor on so many players. Oh, and it was almost good enough, but SDY gets away with that frag. So much damage dealt, still technically doable, and that gun recoverable. It looks like it might be in the hands of Jambo, who is rotating over to grab the bomb. He'll be able to recover that Galil. Now, CT's tested. This is a 4 versus 4. Oh, and Glaive's gonna get cut down by Mattis. Again, the P250 from our hometown hero. Nachu as the next point of contact. Crims takes his head.
That was impressive. Crim's making it work, and it's a 4v2. Don't forget, SDY, he's been low for such a long time. 12 HP on him. So, Pody, you said maybe the rifling is not the best for him. He's gonna be under duress, and that's a good start, but a lot more work left to do in this round.
And no confirmation of the rest of the T's. He might think that it's still going to end up being B. He's already rotated, and I think BlameF has heard this.
Yeah, possibly so, or at least just took an already good angle. The thing is, once the T's plant the bomb, what are you gonna do if you're on the CT side? One player so low, the other one on the other side, best just to save, and fnatic, that's a 1 round in a great time.
Yeah, great opportunity for them to build on this. They keep 3 members alive. There's an opportunity for them to find something for BlameF to grab, but it would just be on the floor as opposed to anywhere else. And in fact, actually, they're being very safe and diligent about safeguarding this bomb, making sure that no other exits are coming. So Blame might not end up with a gun at the end of everything. Maybe he can try to charge in later, or they've tracked down exactly where they want to grab a CT weapon. Either way.
Muito linda essa barriga. Obrigada. Eu vim fazer um ultrassom. Olha o anterior. Ai. É o primeiro filho de vocês? Já é o segundo. E como é que tá a expectativa? Alta. Vamos lá? Tchau, Marina.
Excelência médica e tecnologia de ponta se unem criando uma experiência memorável. Alta Diagnósticos. Do tamanho da sua expectativa. Alta.
You need.
Absolutely. Buy on both teams, but a bit looking worse for wear on the utility standpoint for the side of ENCE, as fnatic probably have information about that happening, and they're going to take their sweet time taking this round. As I said that, I see a B-split already looming, coming in, though Jambo tagged quite low, and there's Glaive with first blood. Kaspersky on the repeat, not gonna take Jambo just yet. Now the attack commences through apps. Pody, good angle. Matis taken care of, but still a bit more work left to do for the ENCE side, though that tap from Kaspersky, burst rather, took out Crims, and ENCE are back taking control of things on Mirage. It seemed dire for a moment, but now it's a clean round coming in from ENCE, and they've doubled their advantage once again.
Yeah, that's as good as you could have hoped for ENCE, keeping all 5 alive. Immaculate stuff on the CT side. They'll extend their lead, prevent fnatic from chaining together the rounds that they need. Remember, they are looking on the T side on their own map pick here. Look at that, the second bullet was for the bricks anyway. It wasn't even for him. Very nice stuff from Kaspersky. He also finishes Jambo off later on. And all of those were rifle fights. Remember, that was a full investment. fnatic breaking out the AWP. This could be their advantage. This could be their option to crowbar into a site. But Jambo, as he plucks SDY, there it is, name on the lips. This guy, the standout for fnatic, needs to be in this round as well.
Yeah, and ENCE, they need to try something, get a bit of intel gathered, and that's exactly what Kaspersky is doing, just taking control of top mid. At least ENCE know that there's no threat from that position, not just yet. And fnatic again lurking toward B. Glaive, the only line of defense, finds the first, looks for the second, and takes him out as well.
No way!
Okay, Glaive's gaming. He's ready for the finals as he took out 3. It's a 3v2. Still an active round for fnatic, though.
Yeah, the rotations are really quick. I mean, really, fnatic are up against a very mobile CT side. And this is admittedly one of the only bomb plants that they've been able to get since the guns have come out, but they can still make things happen. Kaspersky going down in apps relieves a lot of pressure. Fear can hold this window. Is he going to be able to do better than what Glaive did? Well, the answer right now is not. Only good for 1. Half HP. Jambo should still favor the op for this fight. Oh, they've caught mobile. Oh, the repeat is good enough. Pody gotten the better of by the sniper on the other side for 2 rounds for fnatic.
And Jambo is so tricky when you play against him in a 1v1. He's gonna re-peek you when most operas are just gonna tuck tail and try to reposition. We've seen that plenty of times from Jambo throughout this tournament. He misses a shot and actually swings back. You don't expect it. And that was the case here as fnatic again make this a 1-round affair.
It makes sense for Jambo to do stuff like that. He's used to online CS. He's used to that peeker's advantage. And, you know, sometimes if you're caught slipping, you'll give him it over, even though it's theoretically easier to punish that on LAN. Pody's brought out his own big green. We'll see if he can do better. And ENCE, obviously, SDY dropping underpass in the last one. Jambo just held for it and he opened it up and closed the round after. Very impressive, but ENCE regularly will struggle on CT side aggression. This will be a problem for them sometimes. And then Kaspersky only good for the trade, but Glaive is there to double back up. Now the problem is B site's open.
B site's taken. fnatic, they're gonna close the door. ENCE, can they climb through the window? Of course, they're gonna try it. But it's just the question of can they do it. No money in the bank means if you lose this round, it's fnatic ahead.
Yeah, not only that, but it already looks like they're taking more defensive positions. They're going to save this. It comes back down to the difference in impact, man. The first round that the AWP breaks out, opens and closes, first and final kill for Jambo. Pody breaks out the sniper, he gets overrun on B. We didn't see the exact kill, we'll get it in the replay, but the problem here is that he doesn't end up delaying or thinning the herd before the B site gets taken, and at that point you can't justify a retake, not when you have this little money. fnatic, they'll pounce on the opportunity given to them by the Finnish sniper. Not something you'd think to say. Everybody knows the legendary Finnish sniper of World War II, classic story. And Pody is not living up to that level of lineage.
Oh yeah, he has a little bit more work left to do. Forgot what the kill count was for, was it Mr. Haiha?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you that I know the name, but maybe when I cast Espoo Masters or something, I'll learn Finnish too. You know, I got to stick with one European language at a time. Krasny.
All right. First tag timeout of the grand final, courtesy of NKJ. ENCE have good reason to readjust this CT side and try and stop fnatic's attacks, as fnatic was quite good, especially at attacking that B-bomb site. By looking a bit scrappy, yard sale gun in the hands of Pody, though we can know that MP9 can really do some damage on close range. We'll see if he can actually close the range. Jambo completely blind, needs to reposition.
Very different look for the setup here. ENCE committing so many to short. This was very successful for them before, but Glaive was part of that setup. Now he's off to jungle, and he's actually going to be brought down in window, but this boost is good for SDY. Ult was good for the third onto Fear, but the spray down, the crossfire, Nachu helps out. He could be pressured from Palace at any point. Crims might have to do it all himself. It would be a 1 versus 3, and he finds the first.
Yeah, but the bomb's so far away from him. Kaspersky misses the op shot, and he's quite low. He doesn't have the luxury of missing again. Also, the HE grenade might actually do something. Pody only on the MP9. This is a possibility for Crims. Not gonna happen though, as the second shot from that big green connected, and ENCE biting back right away.
Pole using the pole, finishing it off, and that will keep ENCE in front. fnatic not quite able to fracture that defense. The tie is broken in the CT's favor. A lot down to SDY. And this mid play, this had legs to it, man. They were deliberate about this. ENCE really setting up for that crossfire in mid. They took the fight to them. And remember, ENCE's CT aggression will backfire sometimes, man. It's not always so clean. They don't always convert on it. And even that round, they lost some bodies. They're gonna have to think about chaining together a couple more CTs, and otherwise we might end up seeing fnatic break it. A counter timeout there from Independent, representing fnatic as coach. It's an opportunity for them to talk over their tactics, figure out exactly what they're doing here, as they're down 1 round, but definitely not out. This is another really scrappy buy. We've got 2 Galils and just pistols on everyone else, but Crims has done magic with the Deagle. Maybe Jambo's turn.
Let's see. Jambo does know how to wield that hand cannon. As fnatic take control of mid, that's going to buy them a little bit of space to work with. Again, pressure towards B. It's like they were expecting that to be the weak point of ENCE's defense, and at some points it was the case. Even though Glaive had that triple kill, blame F. Oh, that's perfect timing as SDY is felled. And now the pressure piles on. Glaive needs a multi-frag, only finds one. One more player there. Pody tested with the op. Let's see what he can do, because there's a lot of bodies coming at him.
No.
And the first shot missed. He can't do anything. They're just swarming him, and no chance. Ooh, that was a no-scope to Fear, saving him from being knifed, but not saving his team from losing the round.
Yeah, this is a 2v3. You can't go for this. Again, no money. But Nachu, he wants to at least take a look in. Very risky when the AWP has been brought over. I know Jambo's not on the other side anymore, but you still can't afford to peek into that. Crims found that out when he was facing Kaspersky. Not the normal opera, but still enough to hold the line and pull the trigger. Sometimes you just set that tripwire up and it's over for you when you're trying to rifle. But this will be a 4th round for fnatic, keeping it neck and neck. Exactly what we wanted to see in the grand final. We didn't want ENCE to be able to just run away with it. Make them work for it. Make them earn it if they're going to be the conquerors of Prague. Mattis still trying to defend what many consider to be his home turf, but we'll see. Another round for the boys in the orange and yellow, or orange and black as it were. You were talking about those KFC tubes, those little clappers.
Oh yeah.
You know, representing the colors. The problem is orange is kind of a color for both of these, right? And so is black, so you gotta think about that. Different tones, maybe. If you're colorblind, I don't envy you.
Understandable. Let's not forget, the interesting thing is, Mattis, rather, last tournament he played before he joined fnatic was actually a tournament that he won in the Czech Republic. The group stage, though, was only played in the Playzone Arena. But he kind of ended his stint in the Czechoslovakian region with a victory. He wants to do it again now in fnatic.
Yeah, that would be one hell of a storyline. Back-to-back, perhaps, at least as far as his career is concerned. Crims is good on the opening, but brought down to 4 HP. Pody looking for the trade. Even just a little bit of spam could do him, but Crims is so crafty. Refuses to die. Falls back. Persky will get him. Lots of forward A control. So even though Crims goes down, this is still information for fnatic to work with. They know that A has a lot of bodies on it, and they will start to rotate over.
Yeah, the old faithful B site. No. Oh, Kaspersky goes through the smoke, and that'll be costly for ENCE. Glaive again on the MP9, but he had this angle before they can expect it. Not firing shots off just yet. That's one. That's a chance for ENCE. And now Pody on the rotate finds the frag. Things are starting to complicate for fnatic as Glaive is still lurking it out.
No
They've
way!
forgotten about him, it seems, as Blamef lucky to be alive with 28 points of health. Fear relieving some of the pressure, but now he's tagged up as well.
It's just aim duel so far in this round. A lot of it is down to positioning. Pody, he's gonna get another. That's impact from the Finnish hopper. The ENCE Academy graduate finding value, and the leader finishes the job. These two teams can't chain together 2 rounds, I'll tell you that much. All smiles, though, from SDY, watching his leader pull a rabbit out of a hat.
No smiles on the side of fnatic, though. Losing such a crucial round, you know what it could mean. They've been in this situation before, and they managed to pull through. But can you do it time after time on a scrappy buy? That's a pretty big question. And Pody, a lot of impact. Glaive as well did his job. Again, a 1-round lead for ENCE.
We talked about Fear fragging out, but Glaive is doing the same, and he's not a player you would expect. You think you'd have more trouble with the deeper roster, but Fear still good on the entry. So much damage dealt to A-ramp players, but Glaive has to clean it up again versus the Force Buy, and he might be in prime position to do so. Crims trying to find his head.
Oh, Glaive, he wants to fight. He's peeking out of that smoke, looking for a frag. Might even find it, but as you said, 5 bullets is enough to take out Jambo. Blamef and Crims also die, and finally, somebody chaining together too.
There we go, there we go. Worth pointing out, they've already used 2 out of 3 of their tactical timeouts on this map. ENCE do not want to give away the first half. Of course, they'll save that 3rd and final one for our 2nd and final half of Mirage, but I do think that this is just a sign of the times here. It was a couple of rounds ago, and now here they are chaining them together. ENCE working wonders as they secure at least a tie half, but they want more than that.
Let's see if they got what it takes. Oh, that's going to be a cleanup as Fear took the life of his teammate. Only 1 casualty on the side of ENCE, and that was a pretty looking floor, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, you got to get the carpet there. That's going to be where the players are taking their walk off, right? So
you can sell it on eBay.
Cheeky little skill jump for Kaspersky. He gets a couple of eco frags, nothing really to write home about. Fear gets a TK as well. He's on the board, guys. Oh, no.
Alrighty, fnatic trying to get their fifth, make this just a minimal lead for ENCE at the half. Let's see what they can do. Not a lot of utility for them, so they're gonna have to pounce on B as soon as possible. Glaive, he plays so well so far and finding 2 apps. Still alive, gets away with Burner. Glaive continues to frag, number 15 in this half. And Fear, just a 1-for-1. That wasn't enough. It's 8-4 on map number 1.
I can't believe how good Glaive has looked. They keep going to B thinking it's gonna be weak. It's not weak. Glaive looking powerful there. On all manner of weaponry too, A1S, MP9, just making it ratty, making it difficult. Fnatic need to find answers here before we switch halves on map number 1. This is Fnatic's map pick. ENCE looking very good, but they've had similar situations before. Hey,
all right.
Talk about history. Let's make it here.
He got the dog like in the back. Let's see what we got. The answer is disappointing. It's gonna be in a
drop me for a reason. Get that out of here.
Well, not gonna put that in your loadout, I hope.
Most people forget the Negev even exists, man. There used to be that player's agreement not to use it in pro play. Then it was unbanned unofficially, right? Because it was never officially banned, but people still mostly didn't use it. And now in CS2, you don't even have the loadout slots for that. Do I take A1S and A4 in the same loadout, or do I add them again?
Yeah, it seems
difficult choice.
A very difficult choice. Like, do you want a gun that's worth something or a gun that's worth something if you're in silver?
Well, once upon a time, I think many of us were in silver. It really depends on when you started.
That is true.
So, you know, you never know. You never know.
Oh, Jesus freaking Christ. Yeah, nice looking mouse pad, Mattis. It's been a meme for a while now. I think it's been more than a year since it was really famous on social media, how his mouse pad looks, and he's sticking it with it. And I mean, if it gets you the numbers, it might be the magic mouse pad. Second pistol round of Mirage starts his first first blood. There's SDY as well, and ENCE are strolling on map number 1, it seems, unless Fnatic can find an answer. Not gonna happen for Crims, though, as he's been spotted. Fear under duress, finds the first headshot, needs to do Yes! Fear fires back, and Fnatic, they're in a 2 versus 1 situation. Still not over just yet, but Natew needs to get to the bomb before he can even contemplate taking this round.
1 versus 2 for Natew. Will it be très bon, or will we be disappointment? Soliman, he finds Fear. He's got the aim duel and sticking to it, but thinks better. He's got bomb. He'll move over to the other site. He's not making it tricky. He's not going underpass after all that. But Jambo doesn't know that. Jambo has no idea. Now facing CT spawn to clear it. Oh, for a second I thought he'd go back B Luba, but it's not over yet.
All right. Let's see what Nate you can do. Can he outshine Fear's 4K? The answer is no, as Jambo takes the pistol. Fnatic whip themselves back into this.
Wild scenes in the pistol round, and we said Fear's name, we said it a lot. He needs to be the hero, and leads by example on the pistol round. 4 kills was that?
Oh yeah.
3 maybe? That was wild.
That was
I think it was all 4, it was.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, and of course he had the 4th earlier. So clean, so easy. Natew, a lot of heroics, but didn't expect Jambo so close. At the end of the day, clearing CT spawn is what cost him. But well played and well tried. NT. It's not gonna matter though. 3 rounds separate our 2 teams. They can absolutely be closed here. Jambo with the A4. Lots of rifles, really only 1 MP9 here, and it's on to Fear. ENCE are going for it.
Oh yeah. They want to try this. They want to reset Fnatic, and that's a good start. Kaspersky gets the first frag once more, and Jambo in trouble. He has a smoke, so that's not going to be an issue even if the fire spreads, but the bomb is planted with a man disadvantage. What do you do if you're Fnatic now?
Yeah, no HP on a Jambo, really. He can't be the first point of contact, but Mattis clears the way. Taking Natew out nice and early. Glaive with the MAC-10 was holding, and Jambo falls. Oh, this next duel really important to connector, but it doesn't look like they're going for it, even after Fear wins it out on the MP9. Indeed, Crims is slinking away. Mattis as well. Tucked tail. This is going to be a 9th round for ENCE.
Oh yeah. fnatic, again, under pressure as winning the pistol round you'd think could bring them back. They're gonna have to work hard for it. At least managing to save 3 guns and gonna get something for the other 2 players. Jambo and BlameF are gonna get a little bit of equipment for this round. There's still a chance for fnatic, but ENCE, they're in the driver's seat of Mirage, and it's been like that for a long time.
It really has, yeah, ever since the first pistol round where Nachu clutched it out against Crims. Just think of how different this match could be if that 1 versus 3 in the pistol had gone the way of the Swedish veteran. Just a moment off, and you can say that about Nachu's attempt in the clutch just of 1 round ago, but what matters is that the T force buy ends up breaking it. And when that happens, when ENCE actually get the force buy conversion, they break the pistol, they break the economy, their win rate skyrockets on a T side. It gets absurdly high when they do that. They know how to lead from the front. I know that that match on 500 on Dust 2, that reminds people, wait, what are you talking about? But that was when they were on their CT side. This is different. They are leading, setting the pace.
Absolutely, BlameF wants to do just that, but Kaspersky, that's 3 rounds going when he finds the first kill. 2 for 1 trade, that's not good enough for fnatic, as ENCE have claimed a lot of territory with those 2 kills.
Glaive, the steady hand with the A4, trades out his fallen pole. Jambo with the heady.
There you
SDY brought down immediately, and they look there back to fear. Turns out there is somebody behind you. Nachu, what happened there, buddy?
Oh.
The quick switch.
Hate to see it. Misclick that led to his demise. Only Glaive left, but he was the raid boss so far, the final boss for fnatic. 1v3 and a minute left on the clock. Let's not count out the leader of ENCE just so far. He can still do something out of this. Looking for isolated duels, the side of fnatic. They don't want to face him though.
It's going to be a while before he's presented with any opportunity. He's going to need to path very intelligently here. 40 seconds on the clock. I think his first port of call might end up being Crims if he continues to push forward. Instead, he's just looking around, seeing what he can come up with. Eventually, he's going to have to make noise. Half a minute. Oh, he's failed the mantle. First part, not exactly there. And now it seems he might be saving. With only 20 seconds left, I guess he'll go for a little bit of a face and then otherwise slink on back. You know, quick switching, it has a weird history in Counter-Strike at the top level. I mean, Jax was cut for less on Ancient. Everybody remembers that era of G2.
Oh yeah.
Didn't make it to major playoffs. At least they made it to the major that time, though, you know. Better than some teams that Glaive has animosity towards.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Alrighty, fnatic again, making it work. Keeping themselves alive, just for now. As ENCE, ooh, is that the last tactical pause?
Is their final tactical pause. fnatic still have 1 in the tank, so ENCE definitely talking this over after losing that one. Remember, Glaive preserved his A4 that he's now brought through for, I think it survived 3 rounds in a play, which is very interesting. You rarely see the A4 on the T side. I'd still prefer it over the A1S, I'll tell you that much.
Understandable. For some people, of course. I wanted to
You
banter,
think about the T-side
but
entrance,
yeah,
right?
I'm not good at that. All right.
It's going to be a T-side investment here. Deagle on a Kaspersky. Nate's got the MAC-10. The utility is light. They're going to have to go with some pace after the initial salvo is fired towards middle. And it looks like Jambo hasn't been able to find anything.
Talking about misfires, BlameF still on 4 frags. The star player of fnatic, or at least the statistics say he is, still struggling to find impact on Mirage.
Now, the IGLs are running this show. 15 frags for Fear, 17 for Glaive.
Oh, yeah.
And only 7 deaths for the storied Danish IGL. And it's on the hunt for double digits here. Nature's going to get parked up in apartments. This does look like it'll be a B finish, but they're keeping Fnatic interested? Really the only point of information is Mattis's very impactful Palace push. This is going to allow them to rotate over to the B site, so it's not going to be an easy fight for ENCE.
Yeah, Crim's just jump spotting. It's going to be quite slow for ENCE.
O Latam Fest tá de cara nova. Agora você tem o poder de escolher. Descubra mais opções para acumular milhas. E aproveite o poder de escolher seus benefícios adicionais com o bônus Latam Fest.
Crim's unable to do anything more than one kill. Fear not even that. And the defense overrun. Blame F maybe gives second life to the CT side. But now he's just counting on Mattis to actually kill somebody from that backstab. It's been a long time coming.
Has to stall. He has to stay alive. There's so many T's staring him down. Everybody focused. It should be an open and shut case for Mattis. He finds the first. SDY hitting the deck.
Are they going to find anything else? They do have a kit, but the time's running out. They're going to have to hurry up. Both players on the inside tag. Mattis trying to figure something out, but they're just running away from him. Finds one, gets traded back, and no time for Glaive. It's double digits for ENCE.
And they lose everybody. They don't save a single gun. The CT side here might be crumbling at the 11th hour on their first map, on their map pick, no less. Needed to see a very steady hand indeed, a stalwart defense, and it was an attempt, but with Fear going down without scoring a single frag, and with the same being said for Crims as he got overwhelmed by the MAC-10. No way else to say it, that just sucks. They are stinging after that slap in the face, and they're gonna need to come back with MP9s, a Deagle onto Fear, Jambo's Scout, Crims has the Soul Rifle, needs to be the impact player. If they go A, he'll have a chance, but otherwise he's going to need to rotate as ENCE have a default line with maybe a little bit of a B lean.
And the thing is, if you're ENCE, you can take your time in this round. You know that their equipment is worse for wear already. Fnatic have spent all of their utility, all but one grenade, that one on Blame F. But what is the plan? Are they going to pounce towards A? That's the question. If so, Fnatic might still have a fighting chance, as most of their players are on that bomb site. 3 MAC-10s in the hands of ENCE. That could also be a factor. Whether for the worse or for the better, let's find out what's going to happen. Crim's waiting on the site. One of the defenders, but the only rifle in the hands of Fnatic needs to make it work. Jambo, good tag. Crims and Blame at finding frags, but they get traded, or rather the first one gets traded. Jambo somehow still alive. Not for long as Pody collects. It's a 3-on-3, 40 seconds left, but now ENCE still have enough time to rotate, and rotate they do through CT, through Market, in the crosshairs of Fear's Dig. As he finds the first, he needs to find more.
Yeah, there's way more to come. Pody and Glaive can overwhelm this easily, but he has got the lineup. It's not good enough for damage. Pody still on about half HP. Glaive checking apartments before he plants the bomb. He'll have the time to do so. It's going to be the first to rotate over Mattis, only with the MP9. Maybe those cheers earlier helped invigorate him. He is going to be going for this. Fnatic cannot afford to capitulate on so many rounds. They need this victory, and they'll have to hunt Glaive first.
Can they do it? Find the first frag. They do. Pody on half HP, but good positioning, and they still don't know about him. Now they do, but the time is running out. They still do have the time. If they can take it out as soon as possible, that's going to happen. And Fnatic again saving themselves.
Keeping it competitive. Only 3 rounds separating the teams, but that was an expensive one. Fnatic had to commit 3 out of their 5 members to the grave in order for Fnatic to get another round, for ENCE to be staved off just a moment longer. I love their setup. I think it was very well put together here, but this is the final tactical timeout of the map.
Oh yeah.
And at this level of score, we're only going in around 18, guys. This is still kind of early days for there to be no pausing left.
The coaches are going to have to shut up until Mirage is done. Bar a chance we go to overtime. 0 tactical timeouts, both from Independent and NKJ as well. The players are left to their lonesome and to their team speak.
Yes, left to their own devices. That's all they have left. Whatever ideas they can come up with. Secondary calling for ENCE, mostly on the shoulders of SDY. Of course, Blame F used to be an IGL once upon a time. He has plenty of ideas for Fear to chew on. It's gonna be rifles.
What the hell is that in Potty's hands? What the
Oh yeah, baby.
What?
Hey!
All right, we got a new sheriff in town. He's looking for more and
He's
finds
got
a tag.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get Jambo with it too. Arrest this man. He's got the sheriff.
What did you say?
Got the sheriff. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
not
wrong
DK,
game,
come on
my
now.
friend.
No. It was called the sheriff before Valorant even existed.
All right, understandable. I can't believe that we've actually seen Revolver get a kill in a professional LAN tournament.
Grand Finals, Revolver. We love it. We love it. All right, Crims, we're gonna need to do a little bit more. Oh, only one. Only a trade, but Mattis has the steady hand necessary. Fear is here as well. Blame getting traded, that's a problem.
Now, that might be...
3 still has legs for ENCE. This is a very fast round.
Yeah, let's see if Glaive can make something happen. He's gonna be alone now, but he's been so good. So crisp so far! There you go, Glaive, 21 kills and looking for a quad in this one.
It could happen. Jambo is staying put in jungle, and Glaive is threatening with a minute 10 on the clock in this 1v1. He will go B. But will Jambo believe it? Will he call his bluff? He's already cheating towards middle. I think maybe the Danish mastermind might have convinced him at least enough to get a bomb plant, because he's already slinking towards market. The doubt was planted, and so is the bomb.
Yeah, and look at this. Glaive has a molly. He can just hold on to it. Does Jambo have a kit? The answer is no. He might get a chance to pick one up, but it's not close to him, not just yet. He's gonna take a rifle, it seems. Oh no, he just dropped that AWP away that Glaive can't hand it. Nade comes in, but Glaive, he's the one that has the upper hand. Now Kit picked up on Jambo, also throws the molly, but Glaive, he's played this to perfection, unable to finish it though.
All right, the comeback, almost too expensive for Fnatic to afford after Jambo's buyout. More than enough to finish the round, bring us even closer in scoreline. But again, think of the economy. He'll recover the sniper, but the cost is very, very high. The 9th round took a lot to purchase.
Oh yeah, so many lives lost. Only one stayed alive. Jambo, that was a pretty good looking flick to get around for Fnatic, and that feels good for them, almost choking it to the hand of Glaive. Back on the pistols, the end side is Fnatic on the verge of tying things up.
They should be able to versus this buy, but this is where, when you let your guard down thinking you've got an easy round, you got to be tense instead. And at some point, too tense, you'll break. Will ENCE be able to apply the necessary pressure? Smoking mid, connector, and window. Plenty of things to keep those A defenders thinking about what might come next. And Fear, a very forward position, not quite forward enough to hear the footsteps of the ENCE players. But he's quick on the rotate, and Crims atop the bench will be the first port of call. Fnatic are counting on the veteran.
Let's see what they can do. Had a few really good holds so far during the tournament. Might get another chance. No, just blown away by Kaspersky. Fear in trouble. Missed shots means he's dead. And the pistol's doing work for ENCE. Fnatic unable to tie the scoreline. And do they want to commit to a man disadvantage retake? The answer seems to be no.
They recovered the smoke from Crims, it looks like. That's a CT smoke. That finishes the job in this round. 11 for ENCE. And Glaive getting the better of his fellow IGL. 22 frags, guys. Glaive was never the star fragger of Astralis, but he is putting on a major masterclass in Prague.
11 for ENCE. Fnatic, a wasted opportunity again. And this is not the first time they've fluffed around where they have the superior equipment.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, Glaive goes down with the ship. Money is still there for an investment into the next round, courtesy of the bomb plant, courtesy of the victory. As the target has been bombed. B site no longer open for business. Again, no timeouts, no way to pump the brakes. If One team gets too far ahead momentum-wise. It's gonna be way too much.
All right, those still
9 rounds to 11. The AWP out as well for Potty on the T side. This is the first time it feels ENCE have been able to afford it.
Jambo, that might be an op-v-op duel. He sees the shadow and Pody's a dead man. Well played by Jambo. Not so much by Pody. That's a +1 for fnatic. And this is such an instrumental round for them. They lose it. They can wave goodbye to Mirage. It's their pick.
Oh. He knows. He knows he's there. Kaspersky already good for 1. Does he want? Does he dare? No. Falls back away, but puts the fear of God in Jambo. Certainly the fear of having no IGL active in the round, as he's already been taken out. Blame should be able to equalize. He's not!
Man advantage ends. Matisse in the same position. His teammate fell. Kaspersky finally taken care of. He was a nuisance in this round, jumping from window and making noise, making it happen for ENCE. But the A-bomb site, lightly guarded. Missed shot, Jambo on the repeat, catches SDY. That's a man advantage now for fnatic, but he needs to stay alive. Jambo really doesn't have the luxury of dying. That'll be a lot of space for ENCE if he does. 35 seconds left on the clock, more than enough time for Nate and Glaive. And Nate, he's been looking worse for wear on this map, but he's got Glaive that's been firing all cylinders. Let's see if the Frenchman can do something, and if the Dane can cover him while he plants. Glaive in the duel, sees the player in connector, needs to find him as soon as possible. Missed shots, and now pulling back, but look at Crims. Look at the timing, that might be gold, and he finds one, and looking for the other, not gonna find him, though buys time for Jambo. And fnatic hitting 10.
Double digits for both squads. Very tight affair again. Jambo, sole survivor, as Glaive takes Crims out. The money is so tense, so tight. They are scraping together buys by the skin of their teeth, and round wins in much the same fashion. But fnatic refuse to let go. It might be an icy cold dead grip by the end if ENCE have their way, but fnatic made them play.
1 round separating these two teams, and I hope you're happy with this grand final. We got everything we wanted so far. May it continue in this fashion. ENCE now on the ropes. fnatic, they want to pick up pace, find something early, and Nate, you under pressure.
Oh, he's out. That's it. That HE more than enough to sail him on through. Nobody was able to trade him. Perfect start for fnatic. They take minimal damage onto Mattis during that. And SDY brought down, walking wounded. Potty at around half. 1 bullet headshot available for 3 out of 4 survivors. This is wild scenes, and fnatic should absolutely lock this one down. They must do it.
We'll see if Glaive has anything in store for us. What is the call, Mastermind? Oh, Pody dead, so is Kaspersky. ENCE players falling 1 by 1. Finally an answer courtesy of Glaive, but he's gonna have to do a lot more if he wants this round. SDY, good timing to take out the opposing team's in-game leader.
2 versus 3 now, and still can make this active, still have made this active. 45 seconds left. Crims holding for any ladder push, knows SDY might get up to some shenanigans, but that smoke, that's keeping Jambo interested. That could allow Glaive a further look in. It's all down to timing here, and he flicks well onto SDY and finishes the job. A vital round 1 off the back of Jambo.
There you go, we're going to all 24 as fnatic tie things up. ENCE now in trouble, economically as well. Glaive needs to think of something.
Yeah, that was really important, really impactful that they end up securing the frag on a Nachu. Imagine what Glaive could have done with another body, low that they may have been. The HP, not much of a factor if you get the jump on your enemies, and Jambo just had the right spider sense. When you were talking about economics, no bomb plant. ENCE, back to the drawing board, back to the bargain bin. Pulling out only Kevlar on 2 members. They're not here for a brawl, they're here to overwhelm, throw bodies at the problem. They've got 3 Deagles and 2 Tech 9s, and only a tiny spattering of utility to make this work.
Ooh, Glaive. Steve's gonna try something. Pody found the first frag. Glaive manages to keep himself alive, though Mattis on the other side of the map doubles up and gives fnatic the advantage.
Very important that Mattis gets those frags and even able to triple with Kaspersky falling. All hope seems lost for ENCE in this round. And after all that, Mattis with the 4. Could you believe it? He's on for the ace, and he might just give fnatic the edge that they need to clinch their own map pick.
Yeah, it seems to be so. ENCE are gonna have another bye in round 24. Glaive, not a hope in the world with that Deagle. He's had a stellar game so far. But finding 4 with the Deagle, that's a tall order, a tall task. Looking for the first, now his position known, revealed. And already Jambo repositions to get the final frag of the round. fnatic on map point.
Even when Glaive's aim is on point, you're thinking of his rifle sprays. You're thinking of when he's got plenty of bullets to chuck at the enemy. The Deagle does not come to mind. Crisp, though, that his aim has been this round, this whole map of Mirage. Giving Fear a run for his money as far as fragging IGL is concerned. And conversely, you know, Mattis hasn't had a too quiet of a performance. He's on 18 frags, but it's worth noting that a lot of the typical stars, they're just a little bit, maybe 25%, maybe less, in terms of how stellar they were performing elsewhere in the tournament. And Fear has really been picking up the slack. He has an opportunity now. This could be the last round we play. And if ENCE have their way, it'll be overtime for map 1 of the grand final. Maybe we're not ready to say goodbye to Mirage just yet.
ENCE were in the lead for most of this map. That's something to keep in mind. That wasn't enough. Fair, good movement to escape the bullets and the fire. Oh, and just praying that Kaspersky misses, but at some point he needs to hit. That's a +1 now for ENCE.
You were asking earlier, Yuba, can they hear things? Can the crowd make enough noise to influence? I think maybe. Or maybe it was his 6th sense. Might have been an opportunity there. Oh, and Mattis doesn't get anything. We could be going extra rounds. It looks very likely here. This is a 3-on-5. fnatic, they'd have to clutch this one out as a team.
Good start, courtesy of Jambo. That up, firing away, stopping ENCE in their tracks, at least for the moment. 35 seconds on the clock, and Crim's looking for intel. That might cost him his head, not only his, but Blame's as well, and Jambo unable to do anything. We're going to overtime.
Not done yet. Mirage plays on. There we go. Some cheers for Kaspersky after all that hard work. It's paying off for the Bull. Look at that. Finds the duel versus Fear, isolates the position, and even closes off the door behind them. ENCE has some fans in the arena after all. Vodafone paying homage to both finalists so far.
12 all after 24 rounds. We need the extra ones, and that's a way to have a grand final. There's still 1 or 2 maps left to be played. That's first blood drawn by Blame. SDY lurking through the smoke. That might be a chance. And will he expect it? Will he accept it? The answer is yes. Finding one, not the other. Matisse, only good for 1, though.
Yeah, the trade not there. He couldn't multi-frag. Jambo isolated, but Fears at least cut down Nachu. Oh, Jambo cannot afford to burn alive. Falls back, and Crims will trade places. Deep jungle, the line being held by Potty, and he'll find it.
1v1, Pody and Fear, both of their positions known, but more than enough time for Pody to escape. Bomb on his back. Will he opt to fight? That's the question. Against Fear, that's been having a really good game so far.
Less than a minute left on the clock, but that's more than enough time to rotate over, and Fear is bit on the idea, made enough noise that Pody knows he can take the opportunity, plant this bomb. Every time fnatic have bit, ENCE were just baiting, just a mind game. Even the IGL not immune to such things, but 23 frags tells us he can absolutely clutch this one out. Pushing in through connector. Pody misses a shot. It's an opportunity for Fear.
He has a molly, he has a nade. That nade ain't gonna do much, but the molly might as well. As it's a T-Molotov, it's gonna keep Pody at bay, but is the bomb planted for him? The answer is a showdown, yes! And Pody gets the round for ENCE.
Impact, they found 13, took extra rounds for it, but first blood in overtime. A lot of the times that spells whoever's gonna win the map. And if ENCE steal away their opponent's map pick yet again. Do we really think that we're going to train? fnatic would have to dig awfully deep. They got to do that right now, and they're not even done with map 1.
Oh yeah. A lot of Counter-Strike still left to be played in the last best of 3 of the Conquest of Prague. One of these two teams will claim the title. Not many have held in the history of the city, but Matisse wants it, as he's already got victories in this arena. That's a start, a +1 for fnatic.
Yeah, they can build on that in a big way. Didn't invest that much utility even. Still so much time on the clock though. Glaive could get cut down here early. Crims looking for his 10th kill. Hasn't been a performance to write home about for the legend, but still gets information and stuffs that push. A little bit of damage through the wall. Nothing too significant though, as ENCE are just slowing things down. They've won rounds with man disadvantages before. In this very map so far, they can still do it again. Their T side sometimes has plenty of bite to it, and Pody is still active. Oh, Kaspersky almost lined up the double, but Menace was able to finish it off. We're in a 3-on-3 now, all equalized and now favoring the team.
Oh yeah, now ENCE have a lot of room to work with. Matisse, he wants to fight. He's gonna be the first point of contact on this CT defense. And should he die, his teammates are gonna have to make the quick rotate, but the rotate will not be as quick as they would like. A player going through Palace, and that was calamity for Matisse.
The timing not favoring the hometown hero. Had no idea, but Jumbo, he's been playing well. Could he flick up? No! Pody's got his number.
All right, for a moment there, I was confused, though Crims still has the opportunity to take this round for fnatic. Looking for something, 1v2, kit on him, no utility, and as you said, hasn't been the best performance so far from him, but this could pay everything back. Now he must make noise and he must hurry up, but the ENCE players, they're not biting, they're not budging. They have no intention of peeking him or facing him, not just yet. And when they do, he's a dead man. Finds the player, but where is Glaive? A bit late to the party, no time to work with, and it's 14 for ENCE.
Unwinnable scenes there on the A site. There's no hope for Crims when he can't get the duel. But hey, it's overtime, it's extra rounds. fnatic will take that tactical timeout. Thank you very much. And remember that ENCE has another as well in the bank. Strategy plays a factor. How deep is your playbook? Everybody's played thousands of Mirages in their time with Counter-Strike. One of the most storied maps in the pool. Not quite as much as Dust 2, but pretty damn close at this point.
fnatic gotta think of something, otherwise we might see ENCE on 3 map points. And then fnatic are in a pickle, and then they're in a world of hurt.
The tension is palpable, and Pody is brought down below half HP just from utility. Hasn't seen a single enemy yet. But fnatic trailing by 2 rounds yet again. They come back to get to OT. They've got to come back to stay in OT. That's certainly how it feels right now. ENCE, they might have low numbers. They might have low HP. But these rounds still go their way at the end of the day. Individuals maybe not quite there, but the jump spot saw Pody. They're not going to post up against that sniper. Kaspersky, a menace since the late rounds have started. Flame caught and dusted. Oh, Kaspersky!
He's doing work. He's given ENCE a chance more than just that. He was vital in those last rounds of regulation, doing good work in overtime as well. +2 for ENCE, and what do you do if you're fnatic now?
Cartão C6 Carbon Mastercard Black. Salas VIP no mundo todo. Até 3,5 pontos por dólar gasto. Pontos que não expiram. E você escolhe a cor que tem mais a ver com você. Cartão C6 Carbon Mastercard Black. Para suas viagens e para a sua vida.
secure one CT side, but we've been in this situation before, Yuba. We've seen teams chain together 3 in a row on the T side and not score a single CT side. In fact, ENCE have had such a fashion to them very recently. They played an online match against Paravision that ended in OT not in their favor because they simply couldn't hold on CT side once those extra rounds came to ferment. Will it be different on LAN, grand final? Different map, different opponent, but still a possibility. Do they know? Do they remember their CT game plan?
All right, first page.
Fnatic are storming.
First page of the playbook. Fnatic want to hit A. NateU waiting, finding one completely blind for the second. It's a 1-for-1. Fnatic are content with that, but they still have to plan. The bomb. Blamef tried a big play, but SDY was ready. Bomb not planted just yet. Fnatic still have to take control of the site. It's not going to be easy with utility raining in and doing a little bit of damage to Jambo. Now they're losing control.
If Blame had only waited just a moment longer, maybe this would be a different retake. Down a man. HP not quite favorable for SDY, but there's so many CTs to deal with, and Mattis needs to control them all. He clears 2. Still a possibility in Kaspersky. Head in hands. Jambo's got his number. 2v1. Glaive, what more do you have for us?
Oh, he did so much so far. Not gonna happen this time around. Fnatic extend play on Mirage at least for a round more.
It's time for their tactical timeout in overtime. ENCE talking over their game plan. Fnatic, it takes some balls to storm A. Utility, be damned. The pace, the clock, be damned. Just move it on through like you had to hold W for your religion.
Tech timeout.
Works out phenomenally.
Still pressure on the side of ENCE, even though they're in a 2-round lead. 2 chances left for them to end this map.
Feels like there's so many more opportunities for this to go ENCE's way, but in fact, they only have 2 chances. And the OT does not give you a load of cash to splash necessarily. If they get full wiped here, it might be another scrappy buy in our final round.
That's a good setup. Matisse in trouble, finds the frag, burns alive, though SDY actually finishes. It's a 4v4. Do Fnatic want to take this with pace? The answer is yes, but they're all dying. Ooh, in trouble is SDY, but somehow still alive, and now covered by his teammates. Ooh, the attackers, though, biting back. It's a 2v2, but Jambo's so low, 22 points of health. Same could be said about Kaspersky. And ooh, Jambo, now in trouble, now in problems. He cannot miss. He has to fight this perfectly. Not gonna happen. And you can see the sigh of relief on NKJ's face as his team leads 1-0 in the grand final.
KFC patří ke hře.
Nový Straight Wild Beat. Zažij divokou jízdu. Zažij to napětí. Zažij ten beat. Zažij Wild Beat. Novou vůni od Straight.
Začít něco novýho se zdá vždycky těžký. Co rád? Ale ať ti to půjde jakkoliv, jedno je jistý. Že si to užiješ. Vítej v největší komunitě sázkařů. Tipsport.
I mean, are we watching CS2 match or are we watching advertisement for CS2 match? Because I mean, this is epic.
I mean, both can go hand in hand. So I think you can say one and mean the second one. So of course, yeah, this is definitely an advertisement for CS2 matches. This is definitely an advertisement for online matches.
Well said. They're hard to judge. Who was even better on this map, like even individually, almost everyone, it felt like had their life round at least once.
For sure, and I hope some of the atmosphere is also like being felt on a stream, because what's happening here in the arena, it's not a big place. Like I would say 200 people or something like that, but I got chills.
Exactly, Kaspersky Wado guy and the crowd chanting his name several times.
It's muted here for us. It's muted here for us, but we could still hear it from here.
Still hear it, yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, players definitely can hear at least some vibrations or something. And we were talking a lot about Fnatic being kind of a home team here with Mattis and everything. I'm hearing a lot of fans out there.
Yeah. Fans of success.
Oh,
so that's how you're gonna put it. Okay.
But let's talk the first map, right? I mean, it was mostly built on the usual suspects. BlameF maybe lacking a little behind, but Kaspersky very much visible. Mattis, of course, as well. Jumbo, we mentioned him a lot. But the IGLs, let's talk about those guys.
Ooh, I mean, Glaive, we were talking about how Fear is fragging so much this tournament, but here comes the finals, and here comes the Glaive in his best performance maybe ever I've seen. Honestly, in the first few rounds, I think I've noted that at 12th round, he was 15-6, 122 ADR. Fear was not behind, though. He was fragging, it was frag per frag. It's insane. They were actually both topping the charts for their respective teams at one point of time. So yeah, the impact was huge.
Let's remember the 13th round where Fear did the quad kill on short. Beautiful taps with USP. We sometimes even can't see them from the top rifles. And here an IGL who was putting heck of a show did it for Fnatic. But sadly for them it wasn't enough.
And he was pain in the ass the whole time when he was on CT side of the short. Of course, his
short
position
was unbreakable.
Completely. And in the consequential rounds, he was still there, still being able to get those frags. And so ENCE actually had a lot of trouble getting into it.
I mean, we can look at the statistics of these two guys. Of course, Glavy on the winning side, so the KD is slightly better for him. But I mean, impact 1.62 and 173 from IGL.
Well, you say slightly. Look at that. Only 16 deaths for Glaive. That's phenomenal statistics for an IGL who is, of course, trying to go into the fights and then more likely support his teammates. Definitely, he is not meant to be the star player of his team. But, for example, this round when he danced around the lower con and mid and window and he surprised 3 of his enemies. That was beautifully played by Glaive. And the rest of the rounds well played by him, and we can praise him not only for the city side, but he put beautiful show on T side as well.
He was consistent throughout the whole map, actually.
Yes, and we're not talking just open or just one position play. There were clutches. There was.
Oh yeah.
We can saw everything from these guys.
And he was so close in one of those clutches. I'm not sure what was the round. I think it was the 21st, I think, where Jumbo actually managed to win the duel. But still, he was so close and so impactful in those situations. It was not only about his anchoring the position on CT, but retaking as well.
fnatic, for most of the time, they were trying to catch up to ENCE. ENCE got kind of a lead at the beginning of the map. Then fnatic was always just behind until the very few rounds where they got us to overtime, of course. But then, in the overtime, I mean, it started very nice in first 2 rounds for fnatic. Both rounds, they got open, but never was able to, like, make something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the main important thing is, I guess, Kacpersky, who in the OT had, I think, 7 kills across the 5 rounds. And of course, it was skewed a bit about the 1 round. He actually got 4K, but still, the impact, especially the last round. Of course, you can see the whole statistics now. I'm talking about the 1 player, but the last round, USP 8 HP, he's just, I don't know how to even put it. It was just running and gunning with an USP, and he got the kill. I mean, how did he not die there? And that was the most important thing that actually happened in the OT. If fnatic were able to actually kill him, they might have a chance still to clinch it, but they didn't.
Double kill in the end of the round, and I have to mention Podi. He played very well during the overtime as well. Of course, sometimes he stood a little bit behind, but the kills he didn't get during the first 24 rounds, he managed to get during the most important ones in the overtime.
Including the clutch,
Yes, I mean, when I look at Podi and Jumbo, they were tight, honestly. 22 kills on both sides. 4 assists, 17 and 18 deaths respectively. I mean, it can't get even more closer than that, right?
You said it yourself, it's an advertisement. And if not for this tournament, at least for the second map, because this was one hell of a map.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Let's talk about something that was maybe lacking on fnatic's side, and that was, of course, the shooting man himself, Blame, because it took quite a while before he got into the rhythm.
Yeah, at least I again noted it down. I think around 7th, 8th actually rounds, he had like 4 or 3 kills or something like that. And each duel we could actually see from the optics of viewers, of course, he didn't really have much impact. And usually it seemed like a bit of a confidence thing maybe in that game, because it just seemed like those bullets went straight a bit. Not as his usual self, and his skills were missing, of course. We were speaking about the importance of all the 3 heavy hitters of fnatic actually pulling it off at the same time, at the same map. But again, it didn't happen.
Blame did the very first kill of this match, but then he was silenced for like 5 next rounds. He wasn't able to shoot with primary rifle. Then he somehow got out of the stump, but well, it was kind of late. No, he has to do completely different on Anubis.
For sure. I mean, ENCE prepared a little feast for us here in a CS2. Let's see them feast on some Czech delights.
We have asked the players to taste some of our very special snacks.
Hello guys, it's Nechu, and today we are gonna taste some Czech specialties like food, so let's get it. Kofola, smells like cola. It's like cola with meds. I heard about it because I had one ex-teammate named PR. He's a Czech player, and he told me that it was really, really good.
This one is really good. I already tried it before, 1 I think.
Okay, actually it's 3. It tastes like medicine a bit, I feel like. It's pretty special. Let's say it's 2. Picao. How do I eat this? It's like toothpaste, right? Oh no, what is this? Oh no. No, this is good. So it's like 2. I could use it as for brushing my teeth, you know?
It's okay. I would give it like 2 maybe.
Okay, but it's pretty interesting. And I think 2 as well, it's pretty nice.
Let's check this one.
Smells good. I cannot describe the taste, it's pretty special. But I would put it at 4 instantly.
It's good, I would give it 1.
It's decent, but a bit too sweet for my taste. So it's like 3 as well. Okay, time for the chocolate.
This one is not the best, but like okay, I would give it 3.
It's like chocolate with coffee or something like this. Not bad, 2.5. It's not that bad, but I wouldn't eat this every day. I would say 3. It's from coated cheese. It's cheese? No. Holy shit.
It smells not good. I don't want it. It smells very bad.
Okay, it smells like blue cheese a bit. Actually, it's not bad. 3, I would say.
I think I could eat with Pilsner, actually. This is the best one yet. I can give it 1.
Finally someone.
Let's now do something that Fnatic should probably do as well. Let's forget the last map and let's focus on Anubis. What can we expect there? Because yesterday they needed a little help, of course, to thrive over ENCE.
I think a good start would be good for them. They had a lot of trouble yesterday on the CD side, so especially on CT side, we know how Anubis can be skewed towards Ts. So for them, it's going to be essential to get into it well. And I'm not sure they're actually probably going to start on T, right? So that's maybe a bit of a positive for them, because they definitely have typology of the players to actually pull it through and forget about the previous match, manage to streamroll some defensives and you know, get the thing going.
And definitely utilize the entry kills and good early round, because there was a problem yesterday. Even Independent said that this was their fault, and there was missing for Fnatic in yesterday's duel between these two teams. So definitely stronger mid-round, probably maybe...
Especially late rounds.
Yeah, as you've mentioned. And probably maybe abusing Nuke because he doesn't feel well in today's match, or at least his performance wasn't something we are used to on. So maybe this is the right choice. Well, hard to say, because yesterday we saw Poddy, who wasn't like the best one on the first map, but he was a good helping hand for Kaspersky on Anubis.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And maybe like move Glavy to, or not Glavy, I'm sorry, BlameF to give him some confidence with a few open frags that could help, right?
And he was good at it too. Let's remember the double open in the previous match against 9 on ENCE, and he's definitely capable of it. He just needs to spark up a bit his confidence from before, and we know what he's capable of. Not just here, but overall how important player he is, and I think he's gonna show it again.
And maybe a little of luck for Krims, because he's sitting currently at 10 kills, something similar to Nuke, as I've mentioned. We didn't see much from him during Mirage, so something has to happen on Anubis. He was the unlucky man during yesterday's match with the last kill situation, so hopefully something similar won't happen to him again.
And I think they had a lot of talks about it, that they have to be focused the whole time. They can really slip up these moments like yesterday, and it can happen, right?
We all know it. Take their time, chill, and then execute it properly.
Exactly, and I think they have actually something to build it from, because today they're playing much better overall than in the previous 2 days, I have to say.
If you're ENCE, would you allow, because it's Anubis, so T-side is usually the one who dictates the tempo of the map, who dictates where it's gonna happen. So as ENCE, would you let them do this? Would you play the defensive strategy, or would you maybe try to take over mid, take over A side?
I mean,
the problem on Anubis is that the choke points are too far from CT side, so you are in kind of disadvantage. That's why T side is preferred on this map. So you either have to outnumber people in B main or try to do something around mid, but you need to focus only on one part of the map at the same time. You can't just push on the every part of the map without any synchronization. So I think that's it. The most possible aggression, it's the team one towards the B main, or some team play around A wall or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens on Anubis, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it can be the last map. Let's hope not, because I'm honestly enjoying this match too much. Guys, take us to Anubis.
Mirage was overwhelmingly interesting. Hopefully that's going to happen in the remainder of the series. But now Pronago, Fnatic have to deserve it. Losing Mirage, that's going to hurt them. That's going to sting a little bit, right?
They had a real possible look in here, Lyuba. It must be said there was an opportunity for them to close. They come back and unfortunately for them fall to overtime at the final hurdle. And then they're just not quite able to go on the same T-side streak once the extra rounds began. ENCE gave them maximum pressure, and eventually Fnatic folded. But we go from sand to sand. Anubis, a bit more sunny, a bit more tranquil with the oceanfront properties there. We are going to be seeing some very nice matches on Anubis, I'm sure. The problem is, Fnatic lost Anubis last time, right? Fnatic did not get it over the line. They need to have done the corrections necessary. And you brought this up earlier when we were talking about the veto and the differences therein. Dust 2, not the first map, instead Mirage. You said sometimes it's difficult to make adjustments in the same day. And I think stressing that here is important. Fnatic need to be different. They need to be better than they were yesterday.
Well, starting on the T side might give them second win. Let's see what they got and what this pistol will give us. Map number 2 of the grand finals, hopefully not the last, but as I said before, Fnatic are gonna have to fight hard if they want to get us to the deciding map of the Conquest of Prague. Nate, you first point of contact, seen, but the T is now smoked off. What is the decision? Do you want to go through that smoke? The answer seems to be yes. Once you break Glaive ready, he was fantastic. Though BlameF and Crims fighting back, Pody as well on the side defending it, and the rotates are coming in. Not gonna be so easy for Fnatic, even though the numbers are the same. SDY lurking with the dualies, trying to find something on close range. Crims ready with the Glock though. SDY still alive, and now this pistol could go to the side of ENCE unless BlameF makes things happen, which he's not gonna do. It's ENCE leading the charge at the beginning of the second.
Yeah, CT pistol round for ENCE puts a lot of pressure on the Fnatic very early on in this map. Their backs are against the wall. And it would be fitting in some ways for the Conquest of Prague, this very medieval style tournament, to be won by a man named Glaive, named after a medieval style weapon. I'm just saying there's some power in the names, and Fnatic are currently being crushed by it. They won't bother investing much into this round. Sans BlameF, who's got a Galil out. Clearly, there's something that some gears are turning. Fear might end up calling to use the bodies as decoys.
Oh, there's that Galil. Baited was SDY. And Fnatic get the flying start in this second round, but they're still gonna have to do some damage as they mostly have unarmored Glocks at their disposal. That Galil is still gonna have to do a lot. And 56 points of health. Is BlameF battle ready for this?
He's got to be if they want to break the CT economy with an unlikely buy, but it does hedge their bets towards an investment into the next round. There would just be one player who would most likely drop BlameF a gun, as he has been performing fairly well, although last map maybe not so much. Long-range duel with the MP9s, but Nachu may yet get overwhelmed as he loses Pody off to the side, and it's just a Glock of Mattis.
How does that happen? The Galil was barely in the picture in that takeaway. Now Kaspersky and Glaive need to do something, and they're gonna find two. It's all down to Fear. He's looking for his first kill in this map, and he's not gonna find it in this one. And saving themselves. That was close. That was interesting.
Even when it looks dire, even when it doesn't look like there's a way back in, they find the utility. Bomb plant secured, an investment secured for round 3. But Fnatic thought maybe they had a glimmer of hope, a possibility after Mattis gets 2 Glocks. He runs them down and even gets a couple cheeky burst fires for the second, but not enough to turn their fate towards a round win. Not yet. Maybe this will be theirs, as Jambo has the AWP.
See what he's gonna do with it. Could be the tip of the spear for Fnatic's offense, but I'm always wary when it comes to T-side ops on Anubis. Of course, a T-sided map, but doesn't mean that the op can be so effective, especially on those close distances. Already, the CTs want to fight, piling the pressure and getting intel that now nobody is in front of B. Ooh, the op misses, and Kaspersky lucky to be alive.
Yeah, information gathered, they have a sniper, they can change their game plan based around that. Very nice to see Glaive getting active here in the pointy site, if you will, the one with the giant pillar. B is a graveyard for CTs in the front there when they go pushing. If the Ts are wary, if they're looking for it, if the conditioning is there, it can be glorious. Glaive through the smoke, goes right through it, clears Mattis, and gets away without Jambo plucking him out.
How is
we
that?
might be in for a repeat of Mirage with the IGLs being the linchpins here. Glaive already up to 3 frags.
Not bad at all. He wants that trophy. ENCE have won a LAN tournament last year. fnatic, well, it's been a long time. Actually, I think both LANs for these two teams were in Espoo in Finland. Except for fnatic, it was 2022. NateU not able to do anything in that defense, and Pody needs to tuck tail. Glaive already on the rotate from water. His point of contact needs to be a frag. Not gonna happen. It's Fear that wins the duel of IGLs. And fnatic are now sitting pretty on that site.
Yeah, very unlikely you're going to get anything to look at. The remainder of ENCE, SDY just throwing a couple of bullets down range, but unlikely to result in even any eco damage. They are trying to essentially funnel fnatic into one location or the other. Will they go through camera? No, it looks like Fear wants to pave the way, but there's presence carpet for ENCE. They can catch some of these players by surprise, maybe grab a sniper for free. No, Jambo is ready. Well, ain't that just nerdy? Pody gets out, doesn't even get one, no credit there. Jambo opts his teammate. Crims is gonna have to walk that one off later. But still around for fnatic, they're on the board, and they even take away a lot of the rifles of the CT side. Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Worked out well for fnatic, not letting ENCE stretch their legs on Anubis at this point of time, and already NKJ calling a timeout. They want to adjust. They want to change some things.
It's good to know, it's good to hear that the coaches are getting involved early on. We've seen this actually on Mirage as well. Remember, most of the tactical timeouts of the regulation were burned in that first half. Neither team really wanting to throw away the advantage. That tested our two teams quite a bit. ENCE came out on top just narrowly. 16-13. It's a very close score line, and some of these veterans feel like maybe it wasn't even overtime. What do you mean? You need 16 to win.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
It's been a long time since that change has happened. Ooh, that's aggression, and aggression pans out. Good for Pody, good for ENCE, though 2 for 2. In the end, not the best, but SDY collecting 2, and Mattis very low. Still, a good round seems to be coming for ENCE. Look at that, Jambo, though, through the smoke, finding SDY, and he might even get a chance to pick up the bomb. Rather, he's just waiting for his teammate. A pistol in the hand of NateU, and of course that M4 for Glaive. That's what stands between fnatic and winning this round. That op is going to have to be instrumental. It's quick, and Matisse covering means fnatic are tying things up.
Listen, sometimes that early aggression backfires. You saw just how chaotic the opening round was. Credit to Poggy for observing and catching all those frags. It was very, very eclectic and difficult to figure out for fnatic's side what exactly is going on. The flashes are going off in our face. But with poise and with instinct, Jambo deals with so much of the threat, and that dismisses that investment from ENCE. We are down to just pistols. SDY has some armor. There's a single flashbang on the side of the CTs. They'll pop out of A so that they can maybe control water, but that's not where fnatic are going. This is a third one for them almost every day. Just a little bit of damage downrange, identifying where most of the players are. Pody has a deagle. Kaspersky's found Mattis. No way!
All right. ENCE making things work, grabbing that AK. The bomb is planted, but they can still think about at least taking a few more rifles with them.
Yeah, that's what I'd be thinking about right about now. Financing my next round investment. Crims won't let Glaive get away with such antics. Des talked about NateU having an underwhelming series, not feeling the best in terms of his physical health. Hopefully he gets well soon. And I mean, what better way to feel reinvigorated than a nice trophy lift?
Oh yeah, you're gonna feel quite healthy.
Part of your team, but we do want to see more out of NateU, and look at that with a pistol. He'll be happy with that. He doesn't get the gun, but that's all right. That does something to you psychologically, I think, Liuba, when you're a player of this caliber and you just got double domed by a USPS. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it always feels so awkward when an USB kills you in just 2 bullets. Not comfortable. And ENCE, they're gonna be quite happy with this round. Of course, they lost it. You can't really hope to gain anything with what? A Deeg and 5.7, I think that's what they bought in.
Yep.
But grabbing 2 AKs out of it It's not bad at all.
Not bad one bit. Fnatic is certainly turning the screws, but Nachu ready now. Heads up duel 1 against Jambo. Wasn't quite scoped up in the right timing, and Crims has a lot of pressure. He's got to watch 3 different angles.
Bit of an awkward position for Crims as his teammates want to go towards B. He's going to be vital in this attack. Should he survive before that attack begins? The attack commences now. Pody just making contact and making noise, though Crims on the backstep finds the frag, brings us back into 4v4. Now, should be an easy sight take for Fnatic, but ENCE, they're going to be thinking about a retake. They have the utility and they have a man advantage courtesy of Kaspersky. He wants to double it. Not going to happen just yet, but Nate, you good positioning. Kaspersky dead, 3v3. And they've lost the kit. They're going to have to get it if they want to claim this round. 2v2, but both Fnatic players quite heavily tagged. So that could be a freebie for ENCE should they find the frags. There's Mattis with one, looking for the second. He hears SDY burning and gets the clutch for Fnatic.
And all 5 going down for the defenders. No money saved, no economic developments. Another round 1 for Fnatic. Luba, this is one of the reasons why Anubis is so damn T-sided. You lose 1 player elsewhere and still find a way to push forward. Nachu gets this very vital duel, defeats Jambo, but still the rotations take so damn long. You have no idea how many Ts are peppered throughout the map. Might still be there. You saw how long it took ENCE to rotate through middle. Even though there were no threats, you can't know that. It's an unknowable fact, information incomplete, the fog of war. That obscures just enough to force another tactical timeout out of NKJ, coach of ENCE, and we will be going in a little bit further into this T-sided map. Fnatic have the advantage.
Yeah, and now it begs the question, for when do you want to save that last tack timeout?
Yeah, when the CTs burn 2 in the first half, it almost feels like it might be just a little bit of a mistake. I mean, you're not predicted to win the majority of rounds, not even a plurality. You're supposed to go down 8-4, 9-3 and be able to come back. That's not satisfying for ENCE. They want to run and gun. They want to be able to maybe tie things up, and they've got a 2-man set up towards jail that clears Blame F. He's not alone, though. There's more where that came from.
Utility damage dealt just a little bit to Mattis. And Fnatic again want to strike towards B. Not going to be the easiest of takes, though. The attack should commence any second now, waiting for the smoke to fade, but through the smoke, Fear finds 1 frag. Pody needs to pull back. SDY, they've heard him, they know about him, but that auto shot will just blow them away and clean up connector.
They've got a minute. Fnatic can still salvage this round, make it active. Ladies and gentlemen, the alligator has arrived, and it has scored multiple frags. So much money and further, so much psychological damage. Nobody likes getting fragged by a shotgun. SDY on the timing of those peaks didn't confirm any presence there.
Glaive.
And Glaive will be too slow to stop the bomb plant as well. Jambo's ahead of SDY on the rotate. There's enough time for the bomb plant, but now Glaive's getting very close.
They're still gonna have to find multi-kills the Fnatic side if they want to win this round. Jambo whiffs the spray and no chance for Fear. Hence, you expected them to be broken after this round, but 4 alive and winning it means Fnatic might be in trouble.
Fnatic might be in trouble. Developing that economy, they can try to make things flush. If they chain together a second CT round and tie us up, Fnatic will be certainly in dark days. Remember though, they did get the bomb plant down. Expect some kind of investment into this round, despite not having much in the way of loss bonus. And there it is, 2 AKs, 2 Galils, Crims on the Deagle. Last time Fnatic had a buy like this, they clotheslined a player. I think it might have been Nacho on the A side actually of Mirage. So maybe Fnatic can make something happen here.
Looking for something. Otherwise, we might see ENCE actually in the lead. Fnatic going back to B, but Kaspersky catches Jambo. That's the first kill of this round, and it belongs to ENCE.
No map control elsewhere. Fnatic cannot rotate back as liberally as they wanted to, as they did in the previous round. They won't be able to make it to A. Well, maybe they won't need to. ENCE are committing all the players over there. It's only Glaive. He's been a bit quieter than on Mirage, still present. But can he really deal with this much of a storm? It feels like Fnatic will be able to bowl him over, overwhelm the site, and get directly onto the bomb plant, maybe even recover a weapon for Crims if they keep everybody alive.
And well played by
Minute on the
Glaive.
clock.
Just pulling back because his teammates are checking basically every nook and corner of this map, and Fnatic taking their sweet ass time to go to the site. They still have a few pieces of utility to work with. That one smoke is gonna have to do a lot. And now already the rotates are in. Fnatic now under pressure. Fear relieving some of it, but gets traded right away. They know about Kaspersky's position, and Mattis is gonna find him, but he lost a lot of HP in the process. Bomb is gonna get planted, not gonna get stopped is the plan. 3v3, and it's trying to think of something. Finding that first frag could be vital. Mattis only 12 HP. He knows he needs to be the tip of the spear, and he is! That's a double, and they can know where Nayu is. That's the end of the round, and Fnatic take it, even though ENCE, it seemed like they had it.
Listen, Fnatic still had a little bit more time to get the bomb down, but Crims' repositioning there was so vital. It's such a small detail. He planted in a spot that Glaive was spamming and then moved away. And when Glaive went to go for that lineup through the smoke, he whiffed every shot. It's just an inch to the left, and that's all Crims needed. They'll take their own tactical timeout, Fnatic. They've got the 5th round. It hasn't necessarily been as easy as you like on Anubis, though. And you can tell there's plans, there's strategy, there's layers to this level of attack. Somehow, ENCE are fighting back, but not this time.
Not just yet. We're still early days into the second map, but look at that from Mattis. So much confidence. He knew what had to be done. He could have either waited and died definitely, or, well, try and fight. Take somebody to the grave with you. It worked out perfectly for him and his team, not letting ENCE tie up the scoreline, not just yet.
There we go. Another aim duel. Kaspersky up, very aggressive at the bottom of mid, but in a very open position. No trade available as there was only one facing him. Jambo brought down quite low as a result. Now in this 9th round, Fnatic looking for 6. They're gonna end up facing down the AWP, and Jambo was not ready for it, not even looking. Pody will slip away. A bit gutting for the AWP to pluck out the low HP player, but still works out at the end of the day. Glaive brought down so low and eventually taken out by his fellow Dane on the other side of the server. BlameF sails him on through. So we are in a 4-on-4, as if this couldn't get T-sided enough. A site now open for business, and Fnatic seem to be pressuring towards there, taking their water control. But they are also on a bit of a journey, a pilgrimage, if you will, back towards middle. They have not yet selected a target, 50 seconds on the clock.
Maybe overcomplicating his Fnatic at this point. Of course, they don't know what we do. We have the X-ray, we have the minimap. Fnatic have no intel, but neither does ENCE. And especially losing that one player on the CT side means you're a little bit worse for wear when it comes to manpower. You can't really play aggressive. You just need to wait. Commit players to the side and hope that somebody's going to find the multi-kill in that defense of the side. Is going to be A this time through camera. Mattis goes. Nate, you got on the first frag. Pody not. But Nate, you still alive and looking for more. There's the Frenchman. He's been missing. And now he's firing for ENCE. BlameF trying to salvage something. Not going to happen.
The mid-air spray not good enough. The flying Frenchman will take it over. And that is perfect from Nachu. Multi-kill on the rifle hold, and KJ tapping the head. Are they in their heads? Is the mind game happening? We're not sure. BlameF gave it a valiant effort, honestly. Even taking care of STY on the rotate into mid. Worked out wonderfully at first, but at the end of the day, Fnatic 1 round ahead and not in the economic department. Nature has another opportunity.
Oh, not gonna happen. Obliterated was the Frenchman. Pody in the smoke. He resides, waits for the timing, but his teammate's falling, and so will he. That was beautiful for Fnatic. Smaller guns for a big round, and ENCE need to tuck tail and run as Fnatic are not letting ENCE come close, just keeping them at an arm's length throughout this map.
Yeah, pushing them back, keeping them going. Fnatic up to 6 is very important for them. They need to be able to chain together, not just this round, but I think the next 2. And then they need to impress us on the CT side. ENCE have usually done their best work when attacking. I don't see why Anubis would be any different. Glaive will be decapitated. Jambo, a free upgrade given over. It's only Kaspersky to try to hold on to the AK. And doesn't look likely for him to get access to a duel anytime soon. He's hearing some steps, but it's incidental. A 6th round for Fnatic off the back of a force buy rush.
Oh yeah, and ENCE, what do you gotta do now? Do you go for an eco? Just hope you can stand behind an AK, pick it up if the player dies, and continue to frag. That could be the case, and that very well will be, with Pody's dig being the other important factor that ENCE might have in this one. Fnatic trying to get to a 3-round lead.
Yeah, Kaspersky has been so very far forward, and wow, he'll take Jambo out, but they also don't know how much of an investment there is. That's the only frag they've seen. Now getting peppered by pistols, they might be able to put the pieces together. Pody, though, with that deagle, you mentioned it, it'll be key. Kaspersky finds another frag. That AK, heroic indeed. BlameF is blind, he's blind, and he's overtaken by Natechu's USP. The default CT pistol has fragged out for ENCE. That's the 3rd one they've taken in a rifle round. Beautiful.
Fear, can he expect it?
Yes. Only barely.
Still a man advantage for ENCE, and Fnatic not looking good. They have no intel, no info. The ENCE players could have scattered across the map, and you need to check every corner if you want to win this round. Though, a lot of pressure on Pody now. He needs to at least find one frag, but oh, he will!
Oh, no!
Finds one, and late to the party is Fear on 30 points of health. Pody can take him out as well. Not gonna happen. Fear keeps himself alive, but only just. Smoke will give him a chance, but no, SDY won't.
The 4th USP frag to close it out. ENCE score another round on the board. On the CT side of Anubis, they're making this map look 50-50, and that takes a whole lot of guts and a hell of a good game plan. Kaspersky, pivotal, sprays down 2. Long-range fight, and the second one not as favored, but still ends up making it happen. A clean tap from SDY on the below HP of Fear. This one's for all the marbles, lads. Is there even gonna be an advantage? ENCE say no. They've taken 2 frags already. Now a 3v5. How can Fnatic come back into this?
Well, you try that awkward boost and not find anything from it. SDY is going to be the first point of contact on mid. Let's see what he can do. He also has a rotate coming in Pody. There's the op, and it's SDY fragging. Only BlameF left. You can meme him. You can joke around. You can say that he might have a chance, but you're going to be wrong. So finds the first, and there's the second. Maybe opening a window here is BlameF. Still 3 targets left to be found.
You heard about the BlameF 1 versus 5 clutch. Went a little something like this. Swings out, domes the first 2 players. Like something out of an HLTV forum poster's wet dream. The lurk ends up working wonders. Pushing on through to camera, spots the shoulder of Natechu. Still a few more heads-up duels to deal with. 2 riflers waiting for him. Are they any match? Will they be enough? The answer is yes. A 1-for-1 trade. He makes it look close. But goddamn, that was beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans in the arena, the situation is pretty tense. The match is tied, so your support may be now the most important thing ever for the teams. So, who here cheers for Fnatic? Okay, this may be actually surprising, because I gotta ask, who here cheers for ENCE? The situation is tight even in the arena. Make some noise for the players for the great final of Tipsport Conquest of Prague.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
When I said beautiful Yuba, I was talking about our great stage host. And his wonderful outfit for the stage. Fits right in, I gotta say.
I thought you were talking about the KFC buckets.
Listen, man, it's been a hot minute since I've had KFC. Somebody, I don't think that, what was that, Foodora was what Glaive was talking about earlier. I don't think they deliver to America. I could be wrong.
Well, you can try. I think it's gonna be a bit cold when it arrives.
Hey, they say chickens fly, right? Sometimes.
Well, that's the only way you can make them fly. Kick a bucket of KFC.
6 for 6, all tied up. Fnatic, ENCE. Certainly, we have one favor in the crowd, but we have another that's favored on the paper. T-side ENCE, they got a lot of ground to work with here, and they're going towards A initially, but it's a little bit tricksy. Not facing with all players just yet, working the angles, playing this like a tactical round instead.
Yeah. Not rushing, taking their time. They've saved themselves quite well at the end of the first half, tying up the scoreline, looking for the lead now. Jambo spot 2 players towards mid, but they're just going to disengage. ENCE is going to group up at some point toward a site. What site will it be? It might be B. Matis, that's a good flash from Fear as he draws for his blood. Might look for more. Now they're doubling up that position, looking for Pody as well, but he's dealing damage. He's being dangerous right now as he finds a dink and finds one.
Ooh, but Crims is able to clothesline. Nachu not able to move any further forward. Kaspersky might have a better opportunity. Close range with the Glock certainly starts to favor the T-weapon, but Crims makes it look like anything but. He does get caught on the reload. This is an opportunity for Glaive and Pody to double up. This would be a 2-on-4. Oh, he shot his own buddy. He's already taken enough damage, Glaive. That's just part of the tactics, and, well, the Dane is going to go down. Pody still with something to say here, something big to say. All on the blame, and the bomb is ticking down, but I think he's got enough time. And that will be a very tight pistol round win.
Oh, that was close. Pody fought against everybody, including his in-game leader in the end. Just enough time to get that defuse. We heard it in our ears. That was close in the end.
And even these pistols are so damn tense. These players putting on quite the show for our lovely crowd in the Vodafone Arena. Organized by Playzone, Tipsport Conquest of Prague has been delivering, especially in the land stage. And here we are. Fnatic, they've got themselves a slew of rifles, not a single MP9. That's how serious this one is. With the bomb plant down, ENCE have a force, but they've already lost a whole lot of health onto Pody.
Oh yeah, you don't want that on a player wielding an AK. Of course, he'll toss it to his teammate. And who knows, maybe that Glock can hit somebody's head. ENCE just waiting for Fnatic to make a mistake. Not gonna happen, not just yet.
Pody takes the deagle of his teammate, passing it over to Kaspersky. The AK has been very good in the Pole's hands. Is it going to continue to be now that we switch over to our second round of our second half of our second map, no less? BlameF under a little bit of pressure.
Oh yeah.
Got some assistance from Jambo though.
Oh, not anymore. BlameF takes 2. Jambo did die, so it's a 2-for-1 trade. Still looking a bit worse for wear for ENCE, even more so when BlameF claims a third. Nate, you're looking for something. That's a nice looking flick, and that from us is far and away not good enough. Now Glaive on 12 HP looking to do something with a Mac-10. That ain't gonna happen anytime soon with such little health on him. Fnatic stand their ground.
Really good from Nature to get 2 there, though. They're definitely managing the economy of Fnatic. It's not easy for them just yet. And with another bomb plant, you could definitely see a cheeky invest coming into this next round. We'll see how tactically ENCE want to play this, as now Fnatic are up by 2 rounds. Is it a ghost of a lead, or is this how Anubis is going to be between these 2 squads? Remember, ENCE tied it up. Why can't Fnatic get 6 rounds on the CT side to at least guarantee us overtime?
Don't forget, ENCE, they were in the driver's seat of Mirage for the entire map, and in the end, Fnatic had a chance to claim it. Might be the similar situation here. A few pistols, a few SMGs for the side of ENCE, trying to do at least some damage in this one. But Mattis, he wants to push. Did he misread the opposition buy? Because he's losing HP and he's losing it fast.
Yeah, they're definitely applying a lot of pressure, keeping ENCE interested towards Connector. It's an opportunity then for Fnatic to get a bit more creative with their mid control. You can see Crims is going to be holding from camera. Jambo takes a peek out with the A4, and he's actually pushing the issue as well. He might drop down to flank them very quickly as the utility comes in. The exec is here. ENCE, they are going to storm the A site.
Yeah, but Jambo at least takes Bodhi down, and a few bullets hit already. Most of the ENCE players, they're tagged up, but Crims is dead. Jambo died as well, and now trouble looms for Fnatic as this buy, as small as it was, it seems to be working out for ENCE.
How has Glaive gotten a headshot frag with the MAC-10? That was a helmeted player. Jambo really fumbles the bag there with the A4. I think if he gets that frag, this is an on-round. Fnatic can go to 9, but ENCE, they're not supposed to win rounds in this fashion, and Fnatic are absolutely not supposed to lose them.
Blame, just get the hell out of Dodge. You want that M4 in the next round. You're not gonna have it though, as he gets swarmed. Only 2 rifles in the hands of the Fnatic players as ENCE inch closer to tying up the scoreline. Fnatic in trouble when it comes to finances as well.
A lot of composure on the side of ENCE as well. We are going to get another tactical timeout, of course, by Fnatic. After dropping around like that, they need to go back to the drawing board. Only 2 alive, not the best in financial terms. That's 2 rounds in a row where they've lost 3 players, so they really have to start thinking about what are they going to bring to the table here? What are they going to actually buy? And then where are they going to go with it? Because that last round did not work out for them. They tried that early aggression. Seemed ill-advised, but at least it was a risk worth taking. And then the mid-round, just everything collapsed. All down to the individuals here. The strategy might not be the worst problem, but Jambo getting dropped by Glaive, that was much worse.
This round, so important. If Fnatic lose it, you could see ENCE taking the lead. If ENCE lose it, Fnatic back in the driver's seat.
Well, even now, it depends on how they win it, if they win it. There's money in the bank for ENCE. They get a bomb plant down, they guarantee a very healthy buy in the next round, even if they drop round number 16. Fnatic want to build towards double digits here, but they have to do it confidently. That's a swing and a half. But is he going to be felled? No, Kaspersky brought down. Okay, Mattis has done his job and then some. Good damage to Pody, and also helps to drop Kaspersky.
What do you got to do if you're in Mattis at this point? Just have an MP9 and hope for the best. Hope that you don't get checked, don't get challenged. On 7 HP with an SMG, doesn't look good, but his teammates are there to cover him. At the very least, ENCE want to bounce towards B, even though they've lost a player towards that side already.
This is a good situation here for Fnatic to make things happen. The problem is the rotations are very far away. Mattis faces in spots too. That's information gained. Watch out for when Nachu interacts here. When he activates on the flank, we could absolutely see catastrophe on this side. Instead, Fear pushes the issue and secures the connector. And Jambo from Glyph, he's fragging out. All onto Pody, who's dropped so low courtesy of Mattis. The heroics of the hometown favorite are not to be forgotten. 9 for Fnatic.
Oh yeah, Pody must tuck tail. He must run 20 seconds on the clock. There's not a hope in the world of claiming this round. Fnatic still just keeping ENCE at a distance.
One hell of a distance. Everything, every round, that matters. And you said it earlier, Fnatic winning this round absolutely could be catastrophic for ENCE, and Pody dying after time only adds insult to injury. The fist pump from the coach. Independent knows how important that round was. And only losing 1 player, there's some serious opportunity for Fnatic to build on that. They dealt critical economic damage to ENCE. There's no money left over on the Pody. And to make matters worse, Fnatic have kept so many alive that it almost doesn't matter what ENCE bring into this next round. We should be seeing double digits, but Glaive is very tricky on this map.
Yeah, 3 Tech 9s, that can run over a defense quite easily, and so can an AK. Already, the rest on B, now Fear in trouble. The rotates are coming in, but how fast will they be? Through the smoke, BlameF catches Glaive. That's a 4-on-4, but they've recovered a rifle and also took control of the site. Still need to plant the bomb, and it's quite far away. They're gonna have to take their sweet time holding this site. But the question is, will Fnatic start asking themselves if ENCE has rotated back, rotated away to A?
Yeah, this might be an unintentional mind game, or for all I know, it is intentional, but either way, Fnatic are still interested. They have not bid on any potential mind game. Crims coming in through Temple to reinforce. All of the CTs are here. This is the most tense 4v4 retake we'll likely to see on Anubis. It's for all the marbles economically. Let's see what happens.
All right, BlameF tagged up with Pody as well. Most of the ENCE players are quite low. 1 bullet to death, and the bullets keep raining in. It's only Kaspersky, the only guy that had just the pistol, just the Tech 9. He needs to kill the diffuser as fast as possible. Not gonna happen. Just keeping him away from the bomb. No chance for Kaspersky. He's gonna die, and Fnatic claim double digits.
And keep 4 alive again. Back-to-back rounds. The bomb plant goes down for ENCE, but Pyrrhic victory. The first to double digits is Fnatic. 10 rounds, and now a lot of opportunities to seriously come back in a big way. ENCE had the driver's seat on the CT side. It's their T side uncharacteristically that seems to be faltering. Late stage in map number 2, Fnatic are a different beast, and we could be seeing Train after all.
Yeah, and everybody wants to see that map number 3. Take us to the distance.
Certainly an opportunity for it, as we have a half-buy, pistols and armor, but no helmets. Didn't see those in the bargain bin. ENCE gonna be pushing in with the last of their utility already. And Jambo, oh, that's a big whiff, but he does end up escaping through the smoke. And that's information gained. A lot of footsteps made. They're going in through CT spawn. They're going to force the issue and wrap around towards B.
Oh, that's so dangerous for Fnatic at this point. Even though they're just facing pistols, they need to destroy the players in water, and they do so right away. Fear takes one on the site, but the bomb is going to get planted. A few extra dollars in the back pocket of ENCE, though. The CT's very disciplined, just waiting for the ENCE players to enter their crosshairs and not losing a single player. Barely any HP lost on Fnatic in this one, as they hit 11. 2 more to go if they want to go to Train.
Oh, I think you're in cruise control now, but I don't think that ENCE are going to be able to avert this, what feels inevitable. That's the final tactical timeout from NKJ called as we relive these last few moments. Mattis, the very dangerous push, you called it out, him and Fear tag teaming, and they're also able to avert any would-be disaster. No casualties sustained. You mentioned it, barely any damage. I think Fnatic might have done it. They might have been able to come all the way back and finish the job on the CT side. It's so weird to say about Anubis, but if that's how good their CT looks now, wait till you see Train.
Well, let's see if we're gonna see Train, as 4 rounds, definitely something you can come back from. Statistically speaking, Anubis is a T-sided map. So if Glaive had something in his back pocket, an ace up his sleeve, you can expect him to pull it out now.
Let's see what we have in store for us. Round number 19, and yet another very important round. Money in the bank for Fnatic. They can buy into the next. ENCE, on the other hand, they're going to be approaching max loss bonus now, so they might not have the sniper into the next round without a bomb plant, but even then, they can be dangerous. Now, Pody does have that big green. He has had some very nice impact on Anubis, but also offered up to the Wolves perhaps an equivalent amount of time. Now holding this angle. Fnatic have gotten pretty active in this position, but they're holding steady now.
Ooh, Pody, not quick enough. Autopilot aiming, and Marcus thinks Nate you. That's calamity. For ENCE, catastrophe, as they've already lost 2 players. Damage dealt to Mattis and Fear, but does that count unless you find the full HP players? Crim's already in a good position. Kaspersky relieves some of the pressure. BlameF on the swing was so close to catching Kaspersky. He might get caught himself as well. And Fear is dead, 3v3, and still in this round.
Well, Glaive's been spotted by Crims. He's going to fall back now. He had the bomb that was on the radar for just a moment. Information for fnatic vital, as Crims basically avoids any A push. He can burrow in towards Carpet or even in towards Market, be in a better position. But right now, the two-man team, you were talking about HP. Well, Mattis doesn't have any left, but SDY not able to convert. Kaspersky finds the veteran. It's all on to BlameF, 1v2.
And they already know where he is. He can't stop the plant. No hope of doing that. He's going to have to fight both of them. Finds the first, looks for the second. Not going to happen. And ENCE are still alive on Anubis.
They sure are. Bomb plant and one member staying alive. I don't think they'll recover the sniper, but very important round there for ENCE to win. And BlameF, once again, so close but no cigar. There's been a few cases like that where he's put into a clutch situation. He's always money to make it interesting, but it's been a few near misses on that. It goes the way of Glaive. And the last tactical pause burned by Independent. This makes a lot more sense now, seeing how neck and neck this is, how tense it is on LAN. The Vodafone Arena paying homage to many different teams so far, but these two are clearly the creme de la creme, the best of the bunch. And now we've got not a single timeout separating us from either overtime or the end of the map.
Oh yeah. How much room do you have to maneuver?
SDY on the MAC-10. Not a whole lot of utility for Kaspersky. Ooh, Mattis still so ballsy. He wants it all. Fear will trade him and manage to escape from Nate Chu's crosshair.
That's so vital.
+1.
So important for fnatic that they have a man advantage, even though Fear is on a half HP, below half HP rather. They still have a chance. The site holder, wherever ENCE go, needs to take just one. In theory.
In theory. ENCE are about to put their theories to practice. Nachu cut down by Crims, and the double is there from the veteran. BlameF finding his 23rd frag afterwards. And that is it, map point. Decider point, forcing the issue onto Train. One more round.
And you can hear the fnatic supporters. They're ready to go to Train. They can't wait for it. 4 chances for fnatic to take us right there.
We got to find out. BlameF, he's actually going to force the issue now. It's not going to be Mattis, and he cuts Glaive down. Oh, 2 down. Well, he is eventually traded, and that might be an A4 for the side of ENCE. But they've lost so many members, and their game plan foiled already. Kaspersky, the antivirus has been breached. Fear will escape containment. SDY puts him down. Jambo though boosted.
Ooh, that's nice. That's looking good, and that might be it. It is. That was wild, but it was enough. And fnatic claim map number 2. We're going to the decider as ENCE have lost the map they expected to lift the title on.
Chugga chugga, I hear a train coming. Let's go to the decider, ladies and gentlemen. We are not done with the grand finals yet.
KFC patří ke hře.
Nový Straight Wild Beat. Zažij divokou jízdu. Zažij to napětí. Zažij ten beat. Zažij Wild Beat. Novou vůni od Straight.
Začít něco novýho se zdá vždycky těžký. Co rád? Ale ať ti to půjde jakkoliv. Jedno je jistý. Že si to užiješ. Vítej v největší komunitě sázkařů. Tipsport.
One round prepared for us. I don't even know which one because, again, there were so many.
Oh, guys, you are here. Sorry, I didn't notice that because I was planting bomb because there was apparently problem in round number 17 for ENCE. What is that story for them? Because as you can see on the right side of your screen, they went into the forest. They invested every single penny to buy either a primary rifle or the secondary one, and they hope that fnatic won't get onto the double digits. But sadly for ENCE, they did. It all started in connector where Mattis knew that the best timing possible to get Fortis into there is around 143, so he threw an instant molly, but sadly for him that didn't work out as DY together with Pody got into the bomb site. And of course, the reaction came by fear, but it wasn't enough to stop their enemies into proceeding into the bomb site. But let's take a look at the minimap right now, at what is going on the map. You can see the C4 dropped right here on the medic spot near the medic doors, and that's the problem, which caused that ENCE didn't utilize their utilities. Here on CT, there is a smoke. Here in Temple is a smoke. Players Fear and BlameF are currently blocked from the gameplay. They can't push through because the B is controlled by ENCE, and of course the other players, Jumbo and Crims, have a long way to rotate. But the bomb was the problem. Actually, Neku had to go all the way around from T-spawn to get into the action. So we can take a look here at Pody. He's taking his space. ENCE have all the bomb site under control, but the smokes are already up. We can take a look at the buy. Here is currently a smoke and molly on the Neku, smoke on Kaspersky, and flash on Pody. They have some kind of utility. Fnatic are also they're ready for something with retake. Jumbo can use smoke, of course, to block off main. BlameF ready with molly. Those are the utilities that could help in theory in favor for CTs, but that wasn't necessary after all, because Neku managed to get into the bomb site, but the rotation was too long that he couldn't work with the smokes already up. And honestly, I don't know why the utility was there and the bomb was on medic, if ENCE probably didn't trust themselves enough that they won't take a control into the connector. I don't know. So Neku, resmoke CT, Molly's Temple, to block all of his enemies, and now they have a pretty good post-point position. One player in cave, or connector if you want, one player playing around Ninja and Dark, one player JL and Netu coming into the bomb site. All guys are in the bomb site. All guys from ENCE are ready to take these duels, but sadly it won't work out well for them, because SDY currently on 5 HP, Netu on 22, and sadly Poddy, who should be the main star here with 87 HP and M4, took unfortunate position. We'll see this exact moment in couple of seconds when BlameF goes into the bomb site. After the Netu's molly ended, we can see BlameF swinging out, spotting Poddy, giving him some damage. Okay, it was Crims, not BlameF, I'm sorry. But the end was, well, unlucky for ENCE. Fnatic got into 10, then of course 11th round, and that's the story how ENCE lost their own map pick, and that's the story how we got onto the decider.
Amazing analysis as always. I mean, this wasn't the only round that was decided by maybe the early or the aggressiveness of Fnatic in the beginning stage of rounds. The HP, I mean, I don't remember many rounds where there would be just before the attack on the site full HPs on all sides.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all spraying, all utility, all aggressive pushing from the very beginning.
Yeah, essentially all the fighting in the early rounds usually take place around the canals, of course, to the connector, and that's what happened both sides. A lot of nade usage, of course. There's a lot of nade stack spots, so there was a lot of HE damage. So that was one of those points. But what I want to say is that Fnatic, aside from yesterday, where they were not able to actually do it properly, they managed to change the tempo, especially in the 10th round when they were kind of losing previously. They had mediocre buy. They just swing through the A main and completely obliterated the defenses and got the bomb plant, got the round, and eventually got more rounds from it.
For sure. I mean, we also saw one man from who didn't do too well on Mirage really stepped up on Anubis, and of course I'm talking about BlameF, who led his team in kills, but also impact, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely 25 kills from the Dane, and only 13 times someone caught him off guard or just finished him, whatever. But great performance by BlameF. His name was shouted in the arena as well. Few attempts on clutches. Sadly, some of them didn't end well. But overall, I think he's the man who should Fnatic and their friends thank for the result, because he was the difference maker.
95% cast, I mean, he was everywhere within this map, and 101 ADR. As you said, a lot of clutches, sometimes it didn't work out, but he had impact, which he didn't have on the previous map, and that was one of those reasons that actually, and so we're able to take the first one.
Well, sadly, totally different story was Glaive.
Oh yes, yeah. The in-game leader definitely lost some momentum from the previous match.
From top to the bottom, but of course you can't really presume that your in-game leader is gonna top off the charts all the time. Yeah. So, but the drop-off was essential, of course. Those frags were missing, but I don't think it was the main ingredient why actually ENCE lost this one.
Let's talk about something you mentioned, and that was so many clutches. I mean, so many rounds went to, and it started 30 seconds before 5v5, 4v4, yeah. And then in few seconds we were down to 1v2, 1v1. There was no like clean wins, clean rounds, almost.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of typical for Anubis, where you have the early damage, as we've talked about that, and then of course the clutch potential is higher thanks to the hits and damage that fell from utilities and so on. So maybe that's why we've seen so many situations, but of course despite damage given, for example, Mattis showed us on T side, phenomenal clutch around the pillar on B-bomb side, so maybe sometimes HPs are not a difference maker. Well, overall we can say that this map was a nice one as well, and I think this match is really finals we wanted to see.
Yeah, especially in the 6th round. I remember Mattis getting actually 3 kills, but the 2 kills He was on low HP, around 15. He almost got killed by Molly. He transferred from B side with planted bomb. Of course, he was on T side to connector, run away, and run back into the side. No one was aware he would actually do this. It was a cheeky play, and he got 2 more kills and a round for fnatic.
Okay, gentlemen, I'm ready for the decider. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a little break and we'll be back with Train.
Začít něco novýho se zdá vždycky těžký. Co rád? Ale ať ti to půjde jakkoliv. Jedno je jistý. Že si to užiješ. Vítej v největší komunitě sázkařů. Tipsport.
Na portále Playzone.cz jsme společně s Vodafonem spustili podporu komunitních turnajů ve hrách League of Legends, Wild Rift a Counter-Strike. Můžete si tak užít spoustu zábavy a zahrát si turnaje o peněžní výhry. Tak na co čekáš? Dojdi na portál Playzone.cz a vyhrávej parádní ceny.
Yesterday we didn't quite make it to the last map. That was also Train as a decider, but today we are here. We are on Train. We only saw it once by fnatic, of course, in the first day against 9, and that was just a really, really quick map where they showcase again their aggression, their awareness of the map situation. And though they are not a weak team on Train, definitely not weak. They recently just defeated Paravision, that's not a weak team as well. So they have like 60-70%, I believe, on Train.
Yeah, something like that, but fnatic, they steamrolled over ENCE during their match, so fnatic will come into this map with a ton of confidence. I think so, because they've played this map here. On the other hand, ENCE is a different enemy than 9, so the playstyle maybe won't work, and of course ENCE really experienced team on Train, 17 maps played during the last 3 months across the HLTV tournaments. fnatic as well, they don't have that less maps played, 14 on their sheet, so I think this will be a banger of a decider.
I gotta agree, honestly, the win rate itself is not that far off considering the map, so I think, yeah, banger is on the plate, banger is on the plate, boys, hopefully. But the confidence is gonna be the key. I think fnatic actually are gonna carry on the momentum we're talking about it quite a lot, because it's a really important feature, especially in CS2. And they have in their heads that they finally managed to beat ENCE on this particular map. I mean, Anubis, of course. And it's definitely not gonna be as the match between fnatic and 9 on this map. It's not gonna be a roll over for any of those sides. But I do think that fnatic are gonna not be able to push as excessively as they did against 9. Glaive is not gonna allow it.
I think so. Just for comparison, we've mentioned 71%, 17 maps. What it is in reality, that's absolutely shocking statistics. 12 wins to 5 losses. That's a huge number, because of course we know that the more you play the map, the more you tend to lose, and the statistics are not that good, of course, if you're not Vitality, for example. But yeah, ENCE will be definitely a huge enemy for Fnatic. We are praising them for the map against 9, but this will be totally different story.
Both teams actually met. Oh, sorry. Both teams actually met in Thunderpick, and it was 16-14 for Fnatic. It was extremely close match. So as we predicted, I think we're gonna see this translated to the online environment. And Jumbo was an instrumental part with Crims, which you probably wouldn't expect. But as we have seen against 9, around the B side, he's extremely aggressive and great.
I mean, I have like 7 more questions here, but I'm getting info that the players are ready. So, I mean, do we talk or do we watch some amazing CS? I think we watch some amazing CS, ladies and gentlemen. Ljuba, Pronogo, take it for the last time this tournament. Take us there.
It had to be map number 3. It's going to be Train, and after Train, we will find out who will be the conquerors of Prague. And it is sort of serendipitous, emotional for Fnatic. They opened up this LAN with a 13-2 victory on Train. How will they close it, Pronogo?
I don't think it'll be 13-2. I do think they have what it takes to take it in regulation, to do it maybe 13-10, but it will be a much closer affair. When you contrast that, when you compare that with their match against 9, ENCE, you brought this up. They're on a bit of a win streak, aren't they, on this map?
8 maps in a row has ENCE won in the previous Train games they've played, but I really hope you're ready, ladies and gentlemen. Last map of the tournament, last map of the LAN, ENCE versus Fnatic. Let's see what it brings us as the pistol round begins. blamef almost gets his head blown off, but his teammates are going to the other side. Pody, first point of contact, manages to escape. There's Nate as well. There are the rotates, 1 for 1. Is that enough? Or is Fnatic rolling back? Kaspersky on the backstab though.
Yeah, they're going back into it, being very slow now. They have no idea Kaspersky's there. Crims has maybe an inkling. He's gonna go for the check, but that works. That's the shadow advantage. Oh yes. This is gonna get a lot more awkward now for Fnatic. Not only are they down a man, but they don't know where the next duel is coming from. They have to clear Kaspersky, they have to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna swarm and they're gonna find the kill. One of their players solo Fear on 8 HP. blamef already in main, waiting for SDY, and this turns the tide of the pistol round. Pody needs to find something. Not gonna happen. Nate, you the only one that remains. 1v3 gets decapitated by blamef, and Fnatic are in the lead.
That P250 had big impact, covering both the CTs that were rotating in. Very solid stuff from the Dane, and that is Fnatic's T pistol. Remember, Anubis turned out to be a little CT-sided, didn't it, between these two squads? Well, maybe the inversion will continue and Fnatic will go on a tear T-side Train. But I wouldn't necessarily bet on it. ENCE are happy with the result of the knife going their way. They're able to say, hey, let's do it. Let's make this on the CT side. But Blame, he's gonna make it clean up on ILA.
And Nate, what can you do? What can you give us? The answer doesn't seem to be ambition, as he really doesn't want to go into this gun duel. Matisse awaits, and Fnatic collects.
Yeah, CT force by crumbled, now down to just pistols for the side of ENCE. Maybe they can get away with a frag or two. Maybe they can get away with a weapon that they can save into the next to make their rifle buy a little bit more affordable. The Fnatic are on a tear, and they should be able to start things off very successfully on Train. 3-0 should be the scoreline after this next round.
Oh yeah, doing quite well, not losing a single player against the force buy. That's the way you want to start your T side. Only 1 dig on the side of ENCE. That's the only way they're going to deal a little bit of damage. Nades could be used as well. The first one not going to connect. Jambo sees Kaspersky, that's the dig.
Yeah. He had a very nice performance in that last map, but Kaspersky not likely to find anything in this round. You never count out the Deagles, but with everybody else going the way of the dodo, it looks like ENCE are going to be extinguished here. The SMG is hunting, spraying through smokes wildly, and that is more than enough. Galil and AK frags to finish us up. The crowd favorites up to their old tricks on train, but it'll be an opportunity now for Glaive and the side of ENCE to figure out what they're doing on the defense.
Oh yeah. BlameF, well, that's pretty good timing for him. And he's hitting the ground running on the decider. 7-0-0, that's a reverse James Bond. That's always good to see. Will ENCE grab their first now that they actually have a buy? They have an off in the hands of Bodhi. Rest of the players on rifles. Utility not looking too good as they've expended most of it.
I heard they were casting BlameF as Jack Reacher for the remake. That would be his way of being an agent. It wouldn't be the more infiltrative type. More like the guy who rips the car door off and gets to the bad guy that way.
Guns blazing. Oh, that's crappy smoke. Let's see what it can do. It kind of favors the side of Fnatic.
Yeah.
AU has been blind for such a long time. Oh, Fnatic are disintegrating ENCE on train. SDY striking back, but only for one so far. Needs to find more, not gonna happen. Courtesy of BlameF, his dome is busted. And Pody, you don't want to stay here. You want to go away and save that op for better times, as Fnatic are gonna hit 4.
I promise, guys, train is supposed to be CT-sided. It might be a while before we see why. Fnatic are on their 4th, and they have mulched the economy, mulched the players. You mentioned it, ENCE are dematerializing before our very eyes. Been a while since Endgame release. The spoiler is, apparently ENCE go with them.
Well, that's a Thanos snap.
Max lost now. They have an opportunity to rally, but it won't be with the AWP again. Pody taken out. So let's take a breather. ENCE have NKJ on the mic. Their tactical timeouts are beginning in the first 4 rounds played. Man, they are having a rough go of it so far. And it's early days still in the half. Remember, there's 12 rounds each minimum or maximum once that second half rolls over.
And the
it
problem
still feels like right now, I mean, they're running on borrowed time.
You can't really fault ENCE at any point. Fnatic has just steamrolled them in the first 4 rounds. Just going through the walls, breaking open that defense.
It's been wild for the side of Fnatic to see them activating so much, and so much of it off of proactive play from BlameF and Mattis. ENCE have to develop some kind of response to this. If it comes from this round, it would be miraculous. We've got 3 upgraded pistols and 2 MP9s. SDY and Glaive have the best guns in the server for their team. CT side definitely poorly equipped, but they had a little bit of utility. They'll take some forward positioning. Fnatic will potentially sacrifice a few aim duels if they want to grab that control back.
It's going to be a slow one, as Fnatic know that ENCE does not have a lot of nades to work with. Only 2 pieces of utility left on ENCE, both smokes though, so that can keep them at bay for a bit. If ENCE can hold on to them, that could actually slow Fnatic's attack down and maybe give them a chance at close range.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Fnatic are going to get A control for free here, A main, pushing through. Nobody yet spotting it, but holding very close. SDY looking for pop, but he was covered by Pody, and the pistol goes a big way, but unfortunately the HP, Fear hangs on. Him and Jambo doubling.
Ooh, Kaspersky, what do you want? What are you going to do with this position? Might actually catch somebody off guard. It's a 3v3, and now the Fnatic players, they're sweating a little bit as the CTs are coming closer and closer. Crims on the swing, not finding anything just yet. Timing might be working out for him as he catches Glaive, but does he expect the backstab? Now the Fnatic players are running, and Nate, you good only for one. Kaspersky needs to get some heroism.
No
There's
way.
one. 1v1 versus Crims, but Kaspersky 1 bullet away from dying. Crims just needs to check the angles. Not even gonna tap that bomb, not just yet. Not able to connect. And
The
no
time is
time
up.
to finish the round.
Oh, after time too. What a way to bamboozle the veteran.
And that pains, that stings if you're Fnatic. The first 4 rounds went into their favor so easily. This one was a bit of a dumpster fire, right? A bit confusing, as they didn't know where they want to go. So little time left on the clock. And then Kaspersky just rubbing salt in the wounds. Money's not the issue for Fnatic. But mentally speaking, this could be the game changer unless Fnatic pick up some pace and run over ENCE's defense.
Well, Kaspersky's gone down. That's big from Crims. A little redemption from how that last round went. So Popdog now a pro.
Cansado de perder batalhas por causa do lag no Call of Duty? Com o Exit Lag, você elimina o lag e joga com a melhor performance. Tenha uma conexão estável em cada partida e conquiste suas vitórias sem interrupções. Experimente Exit Lag e leve sua jogabilidade no Call of Duty para o próximo nível. Assine agora e jogue Call of Duty como nunca antes.
Get to the site. Less than a minute left on the clock. Crims finds one more. Blame F already deep towards the site. Nate, you good damage. No kill confirmed just yet.
Look at what's happening with Glaive. Oh no, Crims! He knew exactly that there was another CT there, and Nate on 6 points of health. He's gonna have to clutch it up. They're gonna plant the bomb right in front of him. They don't care. The HP certainly not on the Frenchman's side, and he's hunting, he's looking, desperate for anything that Fnatic will give him.
They're not gonna give him squat. Now they know his position. Completely known as the Frenchman looking to put this into a 1v1. He has a smoke, he has a kid, but is there the matter? No. As Crims fixes the mistake made in the previous round, gets 3 in this one, and that must feel a lot better.
Man, such a weird round because of the way that the Popdog utility ended up getting used. There's a lot to talk over, a lot to think about. But what matters right now is that Fnatic, they've got 5 rounds on the T side. And there it is, the third and final frag for Crims.
Oh, no, 4.
Never mind, it was 4.
Lost count.
Finishes the job, the veteran's been here before. Up by 4 rounds, ENCE definitely need that crowd energy, that infusion.
Oh!
And there's a little bit of something to talk about. Kaspersky clotheslining Blame F, but he's brought down immediately in response. And Ivy now collapsing.
Yeah, the defense crumbling. Can they even get to something? They have a rifle to use. And that rifle needs to pay itself, but not gonna happen as Pody hits the deck. The rest 2 players, they don't have armor. Aim punch will be an issue unless they can catch somebody off guard, and there you go. 1 frag found.
No way!
And another, courtesy of Nate Yu. Still up against 2.
Oh, but he has advantage, HP advantage. Mattis had to look with the AWP. He's been clotheslined. Nate Yu walked into the tripwire. Oh, it's all smiles, all laughs, and another tactical timeout. This time from Fnatic. I wonder if they're just helping them stew in it. Independent doesn't even have much to say right now. He's got smiles. He's getting into it now, but at the start of that tack, he was just laughing with his team. Energy and high spirits. ENCE needs some of that. Whatever Fnatic have been drinking today.
Just wants to add the finishing touches to this fantastic T side so far. He wants to break ENCE completely. That was a good-looking headshot. Got traded right away, and Fnatic, of course, they outgunned their opponents. Wasn't even a question. Nate Yu, a heroic performance. In the end, not enough. And Fnatic, they're sitting comfortably at the moment. They're in the saddle.
Yeah, when Ivy collapses like that, you have no guarantee that there's only 2 Ts there, right? And so for him to end up not thinking about team main, abandoning it for the time being, that line down from the back train, there's no opportunity there, really. Nate Yu did all that he could. Would have been a 1-on-4 that he would have won. And maybe he had a better chance if he had dropped Mattis, who was so very low, but it was not to be. And now, they have rifles, but not a whole lot of utility. Oh. And again, Kaspersky's fouled again by Jambo this time. Was that a wallbang lineup? I'm not quite sure how that ended up coming to be.
Well, we might see it
on the replay.
On the replay, and Fear already collecting a lot of ground. Timing for SDY, good enough, not the op repeak. though, as he gets traded 1-for-1. That's not good enough for the CT side, and Crim's on the prowl, but the frags go to the courtesy of ENCE. It's a 2v2, still an active round for ENCE.
I don't think they know that Pody's on the AWP, but does that matter? 45 seconds and the bomb will go down well before any of those tick away. They're still very nervous, though. They don't know where those defenders are. One of the reasons why Train can be such a CT powerhouse is the rotations can be so quick and also so sneaky. BlameF might back into the crosshair, but instead he burrows in, and he'll have the first shot. He'll have the first opportunity. Jambo looking for the unexpected trade, and there it is. But now position known, upgrading to the AK. Oh boy, Pody, what do you have against your fellow sniper on the other side? You know where he is.
Oh.
He finds him. And ENCE will get up to a second round. They just need to find where that bomb is, and it'll be a 10-second stick, and they've got more than enough time.
Well done by Pody in the end. Hit or miss performances. But this round was really good from him. Of course, that first was a freebie. The second one, a bit more of a struggle. Oh, that's
this
fun.
Is what I was thinking.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's cheeky.
Nerdy and dirty. Jambo gets a great advantage there, and now Kaspersky has to know he can't stand right there. What if they try that every time there's a tee op?
Oh yeah.
And with the money on the side of Fnatic, they've got another one in this round.
Not the buy ENCE we're hoping for after winning a round, so Fnatic can break this defense once more. ENCE need to speed things up. They need to be a bit more aggressive, especially with these SMGs, and they're looking to do just that. Also pressure piled on Ivy as well, as the Y might get caught in no man's land. Escapes with the correct timing, but repeats and finds the frag. That's a +1 for ENCE. Fear struggles as well. And ENCE, they're firing back, not letting Fnatic extend their lead further.
2 kills found with lesser weapons. You got to write home about that one if you're ENCE. It's been a tough first half on the decider. Fnatic have been running the ropes around you. Now stuck in a 3v5. The T's might be favored to take this map after all, but maybe it won't come in this particular round. Pody has the AWP once again. Kaspersky just watching right now, and he knows that Jambo is there. Hasn't spotted the bomb yet.
2 players defending that B-bomb site. Not going to be an easy take for Fnatic, as they failed so far to find a frag. Still have a few pieces of utility left to try and execute toward this site. 30 seconds on the clock, so they're going to need to speed up at some point.
Yeah, and if they make any false moves, any missteps, Glaive will hear it from his position as well, so hard to justify speeding when you know there's somebody ready to give you a ticket. I think they might just decide to call it off.
Oh yeah. Seems to be the case. Fnatic don't want to risk it. ENCE will claim their 3rd round on this CT side, but they're going to need to do a hell of a lot more if they want to have a chance in that second half.
Well, they're kind of set up for it if you think about it. They save all 5 members. Sure, they don't upgrade every gun, but that's a big windfall economically. They just need some rounds that look more like that if they want to tie things up on what's supposed to be the favored half. Fnatic threatening to win their T side. I mean, wild scenes, but maybe I shouldn't count them out just yet, because if you think about it, I said it earlier, Anubis looked CT sided in this duel. So maybe that's how Train is as well, inverted from what we know.
HE grenades just softening Nate you up as the Frenchman needs to pull back. The only defender of the B-bomb site, he's gonna get support right now. The Fnatic still undecided, missed shot, that was close, but Crims claims first blood.
Crims has been rolling back right now, 7 frags, only 3 deaths. Been very impactful in some of these round wins for Fnatic, and he finds the opener against the sniper. That is no small feat. Well, I mean, I'm sure Crims has big feet.
Now the defense needs to consolidate. They're gonna even contemplate risking towards the site. Just leaving Glaive.
This is dangerous. Glaive has a lot to do here with this AWP. And he's smoked off from the back site. Holding for it. Oh, quick enough on the trigger finger, but can't flick up to take out Crims. The Titan of Blame F has fallen, and that's a jump spot. Nature's got to get out of dodge. The A side under duress. Rotation's available here.
Yeah, Glaive still posted with that op. They know his position. They want to take him out, or rather smoke him off. Will he dare go through the smoke as Jambo collects SDY? Do ENCE falter? Do they fall? Kaspersky, he's thinking of going through that smoke. Maybe a Hail Mary play, not going to be made so far. fnatic on the verge of getting 7, securing a lead at the half.
They've got it.
Yeah.
This looks like a save more than anything. Glaive finally moving a bit closer to the site, scoped up in case anybody is very close. There's 2 kits available, but I don't think they're going to be pressing too far forward unless they find a kill early.
They're going to have to do it. Like, if they want to commit to this round, they're going to have to find the frags, and unable to do so as they lose all their guns, except for Nate-Yu, who collects an exit frag. That's not enough. He's going to have that AK in the next round. The fnatic hitting so okay, not gonna happen though. The bomb radius still yet to be learned.
I was so sad for Nate-Yu when I saw where he was and what his HP was like. Heartbreaking because the op was right there, tantalizing. Everybody goes down with the ship. Glaive decides to go for it. He remembers all of those miraculous comebacks on train from Astralis' yesteryear, but it's not to happen. At least not yet. Another tactical pause. We've got 1 left, but this time for fnatic.
Yeah, what are fnatic thinking? This is the 2nd tactical timeout they called in a match where they're really doing well.
No, that might have been overlay. It looks like it was ENCE instead. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. I mean, what are you're really turning the screws psychologically if you're calling it now. But here we go. fnatic still have a couple rounds to play for here. ENCE, on the other hand, they definitely need to avoid a 9-3 scoreline. They need to get every single advantage they possibly can. And then they need to impress us, dazzle us even on their T side.
Oh, that's away! That's a collapse from Pody, and Nate-Yu collects 1 as well. Finally an answer from fnatic, but short-lived. It took a lot of time to get it. 4v2 and Mattis, like, I'm between a rock and a hard place. Jambo finds 1, looking for the other, and that repeat this time ain't gonna work. We spoke about his over-ambitious repeats with the op, and that not gonna work this time.
I think that qualifies. Pody gonna peek out, and, well, Mattis is at least sighted. I don't know if the damage has been quite calmed over. We saw an HE try to sail him out, but at this point, it's just been the AWP facing him. He's swapping up to an AK, and, oh, the USP is out. I like that better. Really, you just want to avoid damage right now. If Pody goes down, this gets a lot more hairy on the investment, and Mattis knows it. Oh, he knows it. Ring around the Rosie, ring around the Pody. Mattis will eventually fall. It's the no-scope. 3 kills in the round. Technically only from 2 bullets.
Oh yeah. That gives you a little bit more confidence. And there's still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played if ENCE want to complete the comeback. Now it seems a lot more doable. You got a 5-7 scoreline at the half. Well, you give yourself more than enough chances in the second.
Those cheers, they need to be there for the side of ENCE, giving them energy as the crowd. Oh, strugglesome push through the fire and the flames. The smoke is too late, and that's 5 for Team ENCE.
Of course, this wouldn't be Czech event in Prague without beer contest. I have a fnatic fan, I have ENCE fan, or Glaive fan, I would say. Guys, take your beer. Who sips it first wins train, and everybody in the arena, support them right now. 3, 2, 1, go! And it's ENCE! Never mind, it's fine. You are winning this train map, printed map. Red Bull, it's yours. Good job, bro.
Absolute scenes there as we get back into our second half of our third map, no less. We've had some serious spray downs on Train. ENCE were not quite on the receiving end of what you normally would say is the CT-sided nature of this map. Instead, fnatic with 70 rounds. They have so much room to work with here now that the half is switched, Duba.
Oh yeah, then I gotta shot a comment for that beer competition. Only in Counter-Strike will you see that. That's why this is the best esport in the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Got lots of value for your dollar when you attend an event like this, I'll tell you that much. 3D printed map of Train, something to remember. Already had his signed jersey. It might have been for the wrong team, but you know, we can forgive that for now as the pistol is kicking off in style. Pody trying to charge them down. He's had a late game resurgence on this map. Let's see if he can continue it.
All right, fnatic is gonna be a 5v5 retake. Sorry, BlameF took care of Glaive, so a man advantage short-lived though for fnatic as they want to inch closer to the site. Bomb already has been planted for a bit, so they're gonna have to hurry the hell up. Jambo finds one and knows about another one. They know as well that one was in connector. Now they take care of him. Kaspersky though still alive and kicking. Ooh, struggling to finish off the player, and now the T's are in trouble. Rather the T when Kaspersky fall. That's a pistol for fnatic.
And these teams have been neck and neck when it comes to pistol rounds, but no more. fnatic take both pistols on Train on the decider. And ENCE might have gotten that bomb plant, but their force buy needs to shatter fnatic. Otherwise, we might be seeing a one-sided decider after all.
Oh yeah. We talked about this in our previous best of 3. You get a 7-5, or rather 5-7 scoreline, and it seems like you're very close. Like a few rounds and you're right back into it, but it's very surprising how quickly it's gonna run away from you if you're not careful.
Well, check this out. This time it's a real fnatic tactical pause. We got one left in the map. Independent has some things to say. When you do that after a pistol round win, I think that really shows you the level of tension. They're going over last-minute adjustments, alterations, calling audibles, whatever they need to do to anticipate ENCE's game plan. They know the force buy can be deadly. They were on the receiving end of that in this series.
Force buy in the hands of ENCE. 2 rifles at their disposal, 2 SMGs and a Tech 9. They're gonna be looking to change up tempo. And fnatic seems to be ready. They got 4 rifles at their disposal. Not a whole lot of utility to use, but more than enough, given the fact that ENCE have barely a few grenades.
Yeah, very rarely on Train do you see so little spent on utility. They'll take the weaponry instead. Lots of utility here to stall if fnatic need to, if they feel the pressure in the first place. 3 members towards that A site. But Jambo, a bit isolated. A duel coming up here for SDY. Wasn't so solid on the other side, but oh! This is a potential, a B side. No, BlameF! The bouncer closes the door.
Not gonna get in there. Not just yet. Pody tries to bring one back, and he does. Left, though, on 10 HP. SDY through the lines, already expected by Jambo. That Tech 9 on long distance. What is it going to do? The answer is 50 points of health. That's not enough. And Pody on 10 is hoping for a miracle.
He's not being watched, but they're not making any sound as they creep up. The timing, it could favor him, but he needs to get rid of Jambo early and fast. And it's not going to happen. The way it started is the way it ends. BlameF lighting up the scoreboard. The kill feed sings his name.
fnatic aren't doing quite well. ENCE, what do you got to do now? Glocks? Is that all they're going to bring to the table? As fnatic threaten to take double digits.
Tells a lot about the team's mentality. Are they confident in the long game? The comeback that seems impossible. The answer is kind of. They've got a bit of a half pie with pistols, but SDY has already hit the deck. Some die young indeed. Kaspersky not able to do anything else as Mattis is warning them in T-main. And they're double digits.
3 left. And don't forget, ENCE were the favorites. They won yesterday against fnatic. And there's a common
rule. They can count their lucky stars, Yuba, that they didn't have to play train against these guys.
Oh yeah. There is a common rule in esports and in sports as well. You can't beat the same opponent on one tournament twice. It seems to be the case.
We very rarely get to see these intra-tournament rematches, but I love that that's what we get now. Oh, that could have been it, but Mattis, he takes him out. That's 2 frags, a +1 for the defenders, and they can play around this information. Look at Fear. He's so far out Ivy already.
Oh yeah. Info gathered, and that might be a potential backstab should he be fast enough. Glaive brings one back. A 3v3, but they're taking their sweet time. Now they need to cover their backs, and Glaive has an idea of what could happen, but the timing, will it be on his side? The answer seems to be no. Fear might claim him, and that's going to be the case. Now an advantage, short-lived, as Pody brings one back. Crims heard the footsteps. He knows what's going on, and he's looking for the player toward that position. Fear still in main, did not make a step. It's Crim's time to do something here, and he might do just that. But Pody turns around, correct time. Fear, that HE is gonna blow up Pody. 1v1 against NateU. Who's gonna take it? This could be so important for ENCE, and NateU saves them.
They're still in it, boys. They wiped the deck. Bomb plant, 1 man surviving, and it's NateU. Très bon. Crazy stuff the way that this started. Mattis with the 2-man spray down, only barely traded. A lot of impact from Glaive. Getting that kill into Blame, there was almost no way into the site otherwise. And miraculous from NateU. Nice try indeed, but Blame F knows. That one kind of stings. Maybe that's the start of ENCE's comeback.
Maybe. They're gonna have to work hard for it. This round could be crucial as DY starts it quite well. Both teams facing a reset. Keep that in mind when we decide who the winner of this round will be, but it seems to be that ENCE are crawling back. Mattis only with a P250, but he's done well so far with this sidearm. He's gonna be tested once more. All 3 fnatic players located on A, searching for something. Finding a way to bring something back. Can they do it though? Mattis wants to face that SMG, will take him down. Did damage, that wasn't enough. Blame F takes 2, somehow still alive, and on 100 HP. Crims though, unable to take down NateU. And now Blame F with an all to do, needs to find an ace clutch.
It would have to be every single frag, and he might be good for it somehow. 6th Sense telling him NateU is up there. Still, ENCE going directly to that bomb site. They know that the bomb wasn't spotted by Blame. HP so far in his favor for that first kill, not the case now. 2 full health players that he's got to deal with. Glaive on the MAC-10. He didn't swing from T-main when he could have. The trade could have been there. It wasn't. Has to be better now, and Glaive spots him out. That opens the door. STY can hit the backstab. I think noise was made. Blame knows. But is he locked in here with you, or are you locked in here with him? STY, a bullet to the back of the dome for a 7th for ENCE.
And Blame F, he made him work for it. Good try, wasn't enough. And ENCE, they're not done with this tournament just yet.
The ENCE cheerleader right there, ladies and gentlemen. Glaive's #1 fan in the Vodafone Arena. Fresh off his beer contest victory. Hoping to channel a little bit of energy for his favorite IGL. We'll take it. Just pistols. This is an easy one. Should be.
Yeah, seems so. See what fnatic have in store. Did they plan something with these pistols? Because they're rushing down Ivy now. Pody awaits them, but they take him out. Kaspersky, next point of contact. What will he find? Oh, the answer is 2 of them. And the teammates rotate back to help. They did lose 2 guns, but that is unimportant at this point in time, simply given that ENCE need the rounds. And Fear, what do you got? A USP versus 3? Not high hopes.
Certainly not high hopes, but this could be an extended tactical timeout almost. I believe you've called them poor man's tactical timeouts before. And well, that does describe the situation. Money will be...
Oi?
Oi? Desenho lindo. O que é?
Aqui sou eu tomando vacina e aqui sou eu indo viajar.
Corajosa você, hein? E a expectativa pra viagem, como tá?
Alta, né? Beijo, Maria.
Referência em pediatria e encantamento se unem criando uma experiência memorável. Alta Diagnósticos. Do tamanho da sua expectativa. Alta.
In fielding the big green. This could be big for Nature. Great timing! There it is. Fnatic's captain won't save a thing. 8th round for ENCE.
Not gonna happen. ENCE clean up Fnatic. 2 rounds left to go to tie things up. It does not seem as commanding, the lead of Fnatic. And 3 rounds was all it took to tilt the complexion of this one.
Kind of wild so far. The scenes are intense. ENCE, they are on the comeback. They break Fnatic here, and they might as well have tied us up. But Fnatic won't go easy. Not quietly into that night. Then BlameF opens us up. Miraculous shot through the smoke yet again. A menace on all sides of the map, but especially that A site.
It's a +1. That's a good start. That's something you're hoping to have when your opponent is getting some momentum. And it's going to be a
momentum
slow one.
Indeed. Look at this. They are ahead of this play in a big way. ENCE are down a man, and even still, numbers are on their side, but only for a moment. Those rotations can be quick. Fear's already on the way.
And the CTs, are they seeing this through? They have 3 defenders on this site. Crimson BlameF take on 2. And that might be the end of this attack from ENCE. They're trying to build something, but it's all falling apart. And Jambo puts the finishing touches for Fnatic's 11th.
One step closer, man. They just need 2 more rounds. How about something to slow us down? Get the coaches on the mic for another time.
Do you have something up your sleeve, NKJ? You're gonna need to pull it out right now. Last tactical timeout from the coach of ENCE. Needs to think of something, needs to find a way, find an opening in Fnatic's defense.
That's the last one. NKJ will not be able to get on the mic again. Hopefully for his team, he doesn't have to. But this was a little bit too predictable. Fnatic had all they needed after that first frag. BlameF through the smoke. Pody's been on the receiving end of that one too many times. You can see Blame getting pretty vocal. He's helping to call the initial positions or give any information that he's gleaned so far. Often a player put into the most important informational roles, looking for that info. Well, right now, Crim's here is just 1. A little bit of a spray between. Fear back on an MP9. Money has not been kind to really either team here. We've got 2 SMGs and of course Glaive's Tech 9 on the server.
Oh, that's a good nade. Kaspersky on 43 points of help. This is the time for Fnatic to shine. This is their chance to break ENCE, finally.
Oh, Jambo getting away with his life there, but STY is the only one spotted. Pody also starts to fall away, and they're just going to reset for a more passive angle in case anybody gets curious towards Ivy for the side of Fnatic. They are crawling over this A site, though. Trusting Crims a lot here. He's had a very solid T side, but his CT side, he hasn't really been required as much. And there's the swing from the defenders, but Mattis brought down immediately. They spot multiple players, information, but still no idea where the bomb is.
Yeah, ENCE could be coming from anywhere, and it seems that Ivy will not be the way they're going to try and get to the side. They want to break open that A-side defense. Fear, good position, finds the first, but no way out. He's going to have to fight. His teammates there to support him, and Jambo does. Fear still dancing around the ball. BlameF, and everybody collects, everybody chips in to get Fnatic the 4 championship points.
The trophy lift could be happening sooner than we thought. I I thought maybe we'd have a chance to get extra rounds again, but not so, say Fnatic. ENCE need so many rounds in a row. They need to get 4 straight. Otherwise, they will be exiting in 2nd place, and it will be an emotional dismissal for Glaive.
What do you got? Pistols only, hoping to steamroll the defense. Let's see, will this be ENCE's last hurrah in Prague? Fear already coming to a backstab, no X-ray. We don't know what's going on. Fear doesn't either, but finds the first and looks for more. Now Fnatic, do they want to bounce or just play it defense?
They go right through.
They're gonna collect them all. They came, they saw, and they are the conquerors of Prague.
Beautiful, gorgeous, Krasny. Fnatic will take it on home soil for Mattis. Wonderful, splendid. And Prague, moc děkuji. Thank you for having us. We have seen a new set of conquerors this time around, but one friendly old face.
Yeah, Mattis knows how it feels to win in this arena. He knows how it feels to win in front of this crowd, and deflated is ENCE. They played amazing Counter-Strike throughout this competition. They were the favorites coming into the finals. That was not enough. When it was the most important, Fnatic had done it. And for the first time in a long time, lifting on land, Fnatic will be.
Look at the smiles on their faces. ENCE may be deflated, but they played very, very well. And just another layer Fnatic had. We're going to go to the stage for the trophy lift. Give it up for Fnatic.
What a tournament, what a finals. And the winners, the champions, the conquerors of Prague, Team Fnatic! For these players, and specifically for us, home fans, for Mattis finally winning something in this arena. And I think for all the home fans, that's the craziest journey of all. Mattis, if I can ask you if you can come over here. After getting the medal, of course, yeah. Get the medal and come over here, please. After winning Czech Championship, you finally won something in this arena. How does it feel?
Yeah, just fucking amazing, yeah, finally.
You beat ENCE, so you paid them back after the first loss. What was the match like? In which ways was it different?
I think we just played way more relaxed, to be honest, compared to any other matches against them before, even online, or the first match on this land. So I think that was the biggest difference. We just were playing chill and playing confident and making good calls, so it was nice.
After you won a Czech Championship when you were 0-2 down, today you were down again, so you love these reverse sweeps, right?
Oh, bro, I'm used to it already, yeah, that's for sure.
Of course, you are not only the winner of Tipsport Conquest of Prague, you are also the winner of MVP of the tournament. Congratulations! And no problem. By the way, we know how much you struggle with your mousepad, so we got you 3 new mousepads!
Thank you, I love it.
But I got a feeling you are not gonna use this, right?
Nah, I think there is no chance, but yeah, I'll try maybe.
Okay, let's keep it for the future. Thank you so much once again, Mattis and Team Fnatic, champions of Tipsport Conquest of Prague. Guys, enjoy your moment, take some photos over there, because we are going to invite the other team, or over there actually, to my left, because we are going to invite other team. I think I'm going actually to them. That would be better. Team ENCE, second place. Glaive, I can actually stand like this. I think that would be maybe better. I know this is the moment for Team Fnatic, but please support also Team ENCE for being second in the tournament after playing this nerve-wracking final. Glaive, what do you feel like was the thing you lacked in the third map?
I mean, it was a tough game. They played well. Should probably have closed it on Anubis because this is like one of our best maps and we beat them like 3 times on this map, but this time around we didn't beat them. I think they were hitting more shots than us, and that is what cost us the game in the end.
I know this moment might be bittersweet, but I gotta ask for the optimist side, for the positive side as well. How did you enjoy the whole tournament in Prague?
I mean, Prague has been nice in general. We've only been here for a few days, but it has been extremely nice. So, of course, the result is not what we wanted, but as you know, with CS2, you cannot win every game, and some games you will lose, and you have to move on from those. But of course, when it's a grand final, it's really tough. But I'm sure we'll come back from this.
I'm sure in the end the fans were 50-50 for you, ENCE, and for Fnatic. So is there something you want to say to the fans, to your friends, family?
I mean, thank you for the support. It has been a pleasure to play in front of you all, both at home and also the guys here in Prague. I hope you will continue to support us, and hopefully we'll see you another time here in Prague.
Thank you so much. Once again, big applause please for Team ENCE, second place of Tipsport Conquest of Prague. And that's it from the stage. Thank you so much for being here, cheering for all the teams. And guys in the studio, take it back.
What an amazing story that was. I mean, defeating their nemesis from the previous round on the map. They were not favorites to win, let's say, and then coming back on Train, of course, Train, where Fnatic, like, they were unstoppable. Such an aggression, such a always pushing forward, no matter what side, no matter what position, they were just always at the enemy's throat.
And again, it was blamef and Mattis from the beginning, 7-0, 5-0 in the first few rounds, and there was no reply from ENCE. I think up until the 4th round, ENCE only had like 3 kills across the whole team. So I think that actually answers the question, how the hell did it happen at the beginning? Because we were wondering that. It was extremely fast, and we have seen it, no pun intended, from the Train, because 4 or 5 rounds, and it took like 2 minutes. And that's what ENCE were feeling at the beginning, and of course from that, it's extremely hard to get back on track.
Well, notes on the paper are already rolled. That means story is over, but well, what a story for our MVP, because he had to go to international scene to win finally something here in Prague.
Yeah, finally winning in Prague and also getting the MVP, because when he was still playing here in Czech scene, it was always between him, Neo Prague, you know, they were chasing each other, but now he finally made it. And honestly, I cannot agree. I can't agree more with the chat, because the votes for Mattis, well deserved.
I mean, we were talking about Kaspersky, of course, before this match started from ENCE. Even now, after they lost, he still was the only one in green numbers, 116 rating, but Mattis, oh man, plus 13, 91 ADR, 83 cast, and 134 rating. I think it's really deserved, because across the board, when it comes to this best of 3, he was extremely good.
And of course, blamef with him, great rating for him as well. And Jumbo, who powered up, who bloomed later in the tournament, but his numbers went straight up. And I'm pretty surprised by the final, let's say, roster of the top players here in Tipsport Conquest of Prague, because after these grand finals, for example, Rainwaker or Red Star popped up towards the statistics, so the players who were there before suddenly dropped down, but Matis and Blamev, they stayed consistent, and of course Kaspersky as well, he was pretty well ahead of them, but these two players of Fnatic are the reason why they are the Conquest of Prague.
And of course, both pistols won on train.
Oh yes, that helps.
For Fnatic, that was ENCE, and I have to say again, mention those two names from Fnatic. Blamev and Matis are complete monsters in pistols, and they prove it right after time, all the time, and it could be seen on this LAN in each and every match, I think.
Well, Storm, do you know why we always have to put Fnatic in favor on this map?
Tell me.
Because you have Olaf there. It's obvious, like, if you have position in there, Fnatic will be always favorites here in these environments.
And Fear actually used the Olaf position in one of those last rounds that actually, with Jumbo from Ivy, they had perfect crossfire, and they managed to close down the push, and that was what propelled them to victory.
They totally destroyed the enemy's financial status, so yeah, actually Olaf helped them, despite the fact he's being benched for, I don't know, 10 years in FaZe already.
He's been there spiritually.
He's been there spiritually, but now we are ready to hear from the winners themselves. We have an interview lineup with a member of Fnatic.
Independent, huge congratulations for winning the tournament. Turning down the things because now you looked like a different team from yesterday. What was the biggest difference in the end?
I think on the first day we played similar how we did today, and on second day I think we took some things for granted that they're gonna happen again on the second day. You know, we became very, very sloppy because on the first day we had good bounce, good comms, and we understood we still need to try very, very hard and give 110%, but sometimes it's just subconscious that you feel it's gonna be the same, you know. And we fixed our mistakes. We spent a lot of time talking to each other and making sure that this doesn't happen again, and making sure that it's not about looking for wrong things, but improving the good things that we have. So that was the key difference.
Do you feel like maybe the key factor was also the depth of your map pool, since you still got your map pick stolen, but it didn't shook you off?
Yeah, for sure. I think we went to more, how to say, more entertaining way for the veto to enjoy maybe some maps that we haven't played in a while, but we have practiced them for sure. And no secret that we picked us two in this tournament twice. Both times we lost, and it wouldn't really make sense to pick it again. And we are very confident with our map pool. Like I said in previous interview, we can play 7 maps, and yeah, we showed our game today, I think.
From your analyst position, you acted this whole tournament as a head coach. How did you personally enjoy this experience? And you won the tournament, so 100% accuracy?
Yeah, right now it's 100% win rate, not only for me, but in general for this roster, because this is the first LAN together. Of course, we played RMR, but Freddy wasn't with us, and that's not really our LAN, you know, but we were boot camping. And the experience was very good. Amazing tournament, guys. You're taking very good care of us. And it was never really uncomfortable for me by any means, because my team trusts me a lot, and we have a belief in our system, and we have a very good bounce with my captain.
First of all, thank you so much, and second of all, I gotta ask for the future as well, because this roster has so much potential with the pickup of Fear and Jumbo. So what is the main goal? What are you trying, or what do you think you can achieve?
I don't want to predict what we can achieve. I don't want to predict the future. Surely most important thing is the progress. And of course we have international team. We come from different cultures, especially CIS. Rodion comes from Passion UA, you know. Blame comes from Danish scene, where it's way more structured, and it's all about finding the balance, you know, and we are trying to build and build and build and build, and maybe now, slowly but surely, we are showing some promising results. I hope we can make it consistent.
Thank you so much for the whole tournament, and enjoy the victory. Congratulations yet again.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, smart words, of course, but let's look at the stats of the last map. Let's look at what happened on train in numbers. Natu stepped up for sure. He was definitely one of the pillars for ENCE. who almost took it on himself to bring ENCE back into this map, but it wasn't enough in the end.
After the struggle during first 2 maps, he finally woke up in the most important map. But sadly, other players dropped out. Kaspersky, who we were like counting on, and even his teammates, only 10 kills compared to Blameless 24 or Jumbo's 17, Mattis 16, and so on. And of course, sadly, SDY took his worst day.
I think especially Glaive went ham on his gunpowder in the first map, and then in the next 2 it just didn't. It fell flat when it comes to his aim. And yeah, these 2 guys not fragging, Kaspersky not performing to his usual perfect self. It all mashed up to a cocktail that just didn't taste for ENCE fans.
I mean, when we look at the story that Fnatic wrote here, losing to ENCE 2-0, then losing another map in the finals, then I mean, 6-6 on Anubis, let's be fair, that's not ideal when you start on T side. So a huge amount of pressure on them, and they still were able to came back and then win Train. I mean, very, not easily, but with such an aggression, such a drive. And one of the main players in their roster who was part of this huge comeback was, of course, Mattis. So we can now look at stats of this MVP of Tipsport Conquest of Prague for the whole tournament. Let's see what he achieved here on this Prague stage. 169, lovely number kills, and almost 3 KD.
Yeah, 60 kills combined in the finals. That's a heck of a performance, and a great KD and other stats as well. Impact really high up there, and it shows that Mattis is a really good export from the Czechoslovakian scene, and really good sign up for Fnatic. Yeah. We are always scared if our players will succeed in Europe, but Mattis is
proving to be a successful product.
Oh yes, yeah. That's a good export.
Extremely good, and of course, I mean, for him, this probably will hold a special place in his heart, given that, of course, there was a topic of how he never won here, etc., etc. But winning a first trophy with Fnatic in this regards, I mean, that's gotta be special, right?
For sure. I mean, and they don't have to worry about how to get a big shield trophy back home, because it can just stay here with Mattis, right? They don't need to explain at the airport, like, what is this, guys? Yeah, it's just going to stay in Prague with Mattis. That's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recapitulate what we've been through these past few days. Let's see the bracket, let's see the heroes, let's see the teams that didn't quite make it. 500 was the first one, we lost this LAN, and then 9 followed them earlier today, and then of course the big battle between ENCE and Fnatic, where it was Fnatic who took it all in 3 amazing maps.
Phenomenal turn of a script for Fnatic, especially after losing yesterday 0-2. It was rather convincing, even though it was close on the scoreboard. But today, man, that was different Fnatic. And we can speculate if it was because of the first match that actually they were able to get it rolling against 9 and carried on the momentum. That's a question, I guess. But still, they showed that their recent form is extremely well.
Yeah, and they exactly copied our words that you can't win only one match and say you're the best team. You need to prove it at least twice, 3 times or more, and that didn't happen for ENCE.
Yes. Well, I mean, we have to do it at some point, right? Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me here on Analyst Desk in a language that we barely speak, let's be fair. So what a bravery for you too. I mean, thank you. It would be very sad if you were not here with me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks also go to all our production team, everyone here in the arena who took care of you visiting.
Prepare-se para viver uma aventura com o Passaporte Decolar. Acumule pontos em cada viagem e avance em um jogo emocionante. Seus pontos podem ser trocados em qualquer momento por descontos em produtos no site ou app. Passaporte Decolar, para você viver viajando. Acesse o site e se inscreva.
From all around the world. It's amazing to see the numbers that you provide and how many people watch these amazing matches. So thank you guys. Have a good one. See you on the next, and Yiki.
Seš ready na další level?
Hackni realitu. Urči si vlastní pravidla a staň se tím, kým chceš. Game. Nová vůně od Straight.
Vodafone Playzone Arena. Chceš se bavit? Tady jsi správně.
Hej, šéfe, dostanu vás ven. Tady máte Red Bull.
Co?
Dávám křídla.
Křídla, jo. Fakt vtipný.
Hraj svoji hru. S neomezenými tarify pro mladé je to v tobě od Vodafonu. Teď s Apple AirTagem za jedinou korunu.
Začít něco novýho se zdá vždycky těžký.
Co rád?
Ale ať ti to půjde jakkoliv, jedno je jistý. Že si to užiješ. Vítej v největší komunitě sázkařů. Tipsport.
Enjoy the Conquest of Prague. KFC, game on.
For the first time ever, your game gets 100+ audio presets. Pick a pro-tuned audio profile for each game and vibe to the soundtrack of you.